Should be the third man.
Mm-hmm. They need to belch more on that show. It'd be funny. Em would be like, "Oh my god,
professional
belching on podcasts? Impossible." Anyways, so we have officially gone live. We haven't started just yet, but let me just. There we go. Get the video going. Got the chat going. Put the tweet out for that. Do you want to do that again? Nah, that's fine.
The funny thing is, these could not be my hands, and you'd never know.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Someone's under the table.
Doing a David Bowie from Labyrinth. He wasn't doing the ball thing. That was someone else. Can't believe that.
I didn't know that.
My childhood just shattered like a glass orb. Anyways. Starting is always the trickiest part. Especially when it takes like 3 months to get one going. This is why we haven't started yet. At this point, the music would still be playing. Should I add funny sound effects to the music? Like funny quotes?
We could do the sound effects.
Hadouken!
Pika! Main topic.
Tiger uppercut.
Oh man, I got these old notes. I got these notes from the last episode that didn't happen because it took 3 months. All right. Everyone ready? Ready? Get that bird out of there, Kyle. We got a show to start.
Get that burp.
That burb. All right. Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome. Welcome back. Welcome to 2018. It is CAPMAX HYPECAST. This is episode 26. Our recording date is January the 20th. It's Saturday morning. Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for being here today.
Happy New Year.
And to you, good
Happy New Year.
Back at you. This is CAPMAX HYPECAST. We haven't recorded one of these in like 3 months. So as always, the intro is going to be a bit rusty, but I'll do what I can. This is my very own official podcast of the CAPMAX Gaming YouTube channel. It's a video game podcast, but it's so much more than simply a video game podcast. Well, we got movies to talk about. We got, look down the list here. We got games and movies. I mean, that's mostly it. I'll take a look at Nintendo. We have a main topic. I picked the main topic of DLC because that's kind of a hot button item these days. Some of these topics are actually a couple months old. I was looking at my list here before we started, and the Hypecast that never was had a Game Awards summary. You guys remember that? The Game Awards happened.
If it was 2017, I don't remember it.
Yeah, I know. There's a Death Stranding trailer we could talk about, but that's kind of old news now. That's going to be a fun movie. I look forward for that to come out. Patreon did a price hike for a little while, and everyone got upset, and then that's all old news already. Mega Man 11 was announced. Oh, dude, that's a good one. We might come back to that one.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. But that is interesting news. Spoilers for interesting news if we even have time for it. Mega Man 11. Was it 11? 11.
11.
Okay. I still need to play 9 and 10 properly. I didn't beat either one. But anyways, so let's get our intros going, meet the guests, and they can pimp their social medias and whatnot. So let's start with Austin.
Hey. Hi. I'm Austin.
It's Austin. He's back.
I'm back. I got
the return.
Okay. I just want to start by saying I got a new computer.
Yep.
In December. So, if you've followed me through these Hypecasts periodically, I usually got pretty crappy equipment. So, but now I can actually function, and it's been great. Stuff is
Austin HD.
Everything sounds better, looks better. So that's been really nice.
that headset you got is out of control. All over the place.
But yeah, I'm Austin. On Twitter, I'm ASAP Beef, and I usually am with a group of fellows called Average Joe Gaming.
Those are the days.
And we pretty much have been dead for a few months now.
Resting in peace. Yeah, I feel like
which is sad.
it's easier. It's so much easier to do
It's
nothing.
so much easier to not do things and not get together with people.
You were with them recently, though. You were streaming on the official Average Joe Gaming Twitch channel. I was like, oh my god, all three of them, they're back.
I know, right?
Playing that Smash
should
Brothers
just do
game
that.
that wasn't Smash Brothers.
We should just do that now. Except
That's
not
pretty much all I do when it comes to gaming stuff.
except not play Brawlhalla because that game is awful.
Yeah,
That
it
game
looks
is awful.
it looks decent, but like it needs a ton more of everything, like items.
Items, just better control. Did you stick around for the whole thing? Because the actual like snowball fight thing,
Yeah, it's a bit of that.
that was probably the funnest game mode in there, which is literally just like mashing square and just hoping you live. But yeah, you can still go to the website Average Joe Gaming and look at old podcasts. They're usually pretty fun, even though it's old stuff.
That's what I did ages ago. Went back to start from the beginning. I like when you're trying to get people to like join your group, the Average Joes and then Average Janes.
Oh yeah,
I guess Will has an Average Jane now, right?
Will has an Average Gene.
Oh, congratulations to Will from Average Joe Gaming on his upcoming impending marriage.
Yeah, Homer 2K.
Engaged. Yeah.
At Homer 2K, send your congratulations to him.
Hey.
He doesn't need to know you. He'll appreciate it.
Cheers.
Send him a Simpsons reference and he'll be happy. Better.
Quit Simpsons referencing everything.
Oh, we're just getting started. I missed those sound effects. I was going to do an applause button, but I was going to add it to the phone. Yeah. I didn't have enough time between episodes.
They took them off?
Don't wait.
It's so much easier, as he said. Just to not do anything.
Other than that, lately, like the past month, I've been Twitch streaming a lot more. So if you guys want to watch me play some video games, it's same as my Twitter at ASAPBeef. I forgot you can make that little bar down here. I didn't do that. We're ruined, guys.
Yep. Keep it going, man. Keep it going. There's no edits. You know how it goes.
Yeah. So Twitch stream has been fun. I've been having a good time. I've been streaming a lot of Dead Cells. I guess. Do we want to talk about what we've been doing, what we've been playing, or should I just stop right there and we should go to Kyle?
Yeah, stop right there. We'll go to Kyle.
Yeah.
Before we do that, though, before we get to
Round
that, so yeah, I put Average Joe Game dead or alive. So what's the word? When are we getting new podcasts? Because you guys always, I've said it before on the times you've been on, but it sounded like you always had fun recording them.
Yeah, we totally do. It's just like it's always a pain in the butt to get everybody together at this point for like multiple hours.
It wasn't like that long, were they? It was like an hour and a half, maybe.
You see, Steve, the thing is, when we get together, it is not get down to business.
Yeah. Bananas right from the get-go.
Yeah. There's a lot of just craziness going on, and Will loves to derail everything.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed. So you usually got to put aside at least an hour before the podcast, then the hour of the podcast, and then it's not fun to just be like, okay, podcast is done, let's cut out. You kind of want to hang out then. So
yeah, I feel you.
it is rough because yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, in today's age, like a lot of podcasts are like through this, through the internet, and
yeah,
we were literally meeting face to face because we're all so close. So that's a nice dynamic for us because I think it comes out in the podcast of just
it's so convenient. Like our friends are the Gaming Pilgrimage podcast. Like I'm pretty sure they're all sitting right there, just at a table with a mic, and it's really
easier to riff on people and get their reactions and kind of point stuff out, and Also, just equipment. It's nice when you got one whole set of equipment as opposed to this guy's set up, his mic's not working across the country, his time zone, so he's an hour off.
Oh boy, remember that time
you're not talking over each other.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that time we just couldn't hear you? We could hear you in the chat, but not the stream. Couldn't you? If that happens again, I apologize that we're talking to nobody. That's where I take the audio from.
But yeah,
I hope that doesn't happen.
As far as amateur gaming, it's probably just going to be a very seldom periodical thing. Maybe we'll try to do more streaming.
Yeah,
because in the end, our podcast was very not much news. It was a lot of just us kind of getting together and bullshitting for a long time. And just having a good time. So I don't know. We definitely want to do more stuff. It's just hard getting everybody together for that time. Yeah, and I think Steve Will is planning on moving to California. And
well, he said he was looking into it or something. He was going to make a visit.
He seems pretty serious about it. So
damn.
It's not anytime soon. Like I think it's going to be next year, but that's something that they're planning for and looking into.
Well,
and I don't know what's going to happen then at that point.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's the future, man. You just never know. Cool. All right. Did you pimp your new Twitch channel again?
It's just twitch.tv/ASOPBeef. That's AESOPB 3EF.
There you go. All right, cool. I am appeased by
Rolls right off the tongue.
Mm-hmm. It's easy.
Excellent. Now, thanks for being here today, Austin. And Kyle, tell us a bit about yourself again. Do some intros for us, please.
Yes, I don't have quite as much going on. I'm just at Kyle_325_ again on Twitter. And I do my own little YouTube channel, just Game Time with Kyle, all one word. Kind of talk about gaming consoles and hidden gems and a few pickups here and there. Nothing too outrageous. And that's probably it for now. Like you guys, I did a podcast, but we haven't been doing it for a couple months because it's easier not to do it.
Yeah, I've started a movement of laziness.
Yeah, hard work, sometimes pays off, over time, but laziness always pays off right now.
Yeah, I've got a name for our pain, and I'm going to call it possibly the show title, Nega Hype.
Nega Hype.
I've spilled out the Nega Hype into the internet, and it's spreading all around. All that Nega Hype. It's pretty good though. That's an early possible show title, and I dig it a lot.
Opposite of what Fandango's doing. Opposite of what Fandango's doing. They're all
those
positive.
Guys are out of control. Podcasting every week or something.
So, that's about it. I've been a guest on the HYPECAST once before. I'm a 2-timer club now.
There you go.
So,
yeah. What were we talking about that episode? I'm still exclusive to a Podomatic as far as the audio version goes, but they changed the layout. What episode was that? What were we talking about?
Podomatic.
2 or 3 of them ago. Just basically the one of the Nintendo Directs and the PlayStation, not experience, but
it might have been episode
Game
24.
Week.
Is that Xenosnore Vorticles? I love that.
Maybe just we went off a list of what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah.
And Microsoft got ignored like usual. So
yeah, that sounds right. They're not on this show. Boy, this is awful. I don't like this.
Sorry, Musty.
Oh god, I just played it. Can you hear it? No,
okay. I can't.
Scared. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Lumps and Kyle. There you go. Oh, we talked about the SNES Classic. Good times. Do you guys have your SNES Classics yet?
Nope.
Yes.
I still have yet to see one actually in person.
There
it is.
Oh, it's holding up. Hold on. Got the windows. Gotta close the window, open the window. Oh, there it is.
I'd pull it further, but I don't want to rip cords out of the wall.
No, that's all right. Get it upside down.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm
That
still
thing is
open to get
cool.
one. I don't want to pay over the asking price for it though. There's no way I'm paying over $60 for it.
Our local Walmart.
If I see one in stores, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's totally worth it for decent, for the
Oh, yeah.
original price. It's really worth it.
Cool system. Our local Walmart had 4 in the other day. I was like, oh my god! I already made a Nintendo's finished tweet a while ago because there was one in stock and it wasn't like instantly purchased. Anyways, all right, cool. Thanks for being here today, Kat. And I guess that's just me. Hey everyone, I'm Steven, the coolest monkey in the jungle. Welcome to my podcast. If Oz were in the chat, he'd love me saying that. You guys see that shirt? Coolest monkey in the jungle?
No.
Oh,
really? Okay, I'll leave it at that. Anyways, it's an amusing story.
Steve, no matter where I go, I'm never in the inside joke. I'm with Brian and Will, and they know their jokes. You got your jokes.
Yeah. It's not an inside joke though. It was all over the internet for like a few days. Look it up. Coolest monkey in the jungle. Anyways, yes, I
missed it.
Oh, Jesus squeezes. Anyways, Steven, yes, that's me. This is my podcast, CAPMAX HYPECAST. It's pretty good, I think. It happens from time to time. You see, the CAPMAX HYPECAST, it's not like that rash on your inner thigh. You think it's gone. You're good to go, but then every now and then you're like, oh God, it's back. CAPMAX. That's how that works. You can check me out on YouTube. Let's check the chat because I always have these live. The chat is empty. Let's get back to the CAPMAX Nightcat. CAPMAX Gaming. Dudes, I looked it up. I was setting up the live stream, and I've got over 500,000 total views on my channel. That's pretty good.
That is awesome. That's really good, actually.
Yeah, big.
That's
big
what ends
start.
when you go viral, as they say. I've got a few videos that have gone viral. So that's my YouTube. It's mostly live streaming stuff. More toy videos than gaming, because as we were just saying, it's a lot easier to just stream games on Twitch. And YouTube is kind of a pain in the ass these days. We'll get into more of that closer to the end of the show for interesting news. For the smaller YouTubers, check me out on Twitter at Steven Eider. Steven with a VEIDHER, all one word. Twitch. It's CAPMAX_gaming, and watch me play video games live. Woo! Is that it? Yeah. I'm not on Instagram. I don't
Goodbye.
like Instagram.
Thanks.
Bye,
for joining us.
everybody.
Great.
I don't know what
All right,
songs
yeah,
we're going to have. I don't know what songs. We'll figure it out. I've got the notes for when we pick a song. Anyways, okay, yeah. So that's intros. That's we've met the guests. So let's get into them. What you been playing? What you been watching? Time of the show, and we chat a bit more with our guests and myself, and we just talk about some random games, random movies, with this and that. And I've got the list again, so let's start with Austin. Austin, what you been playing? What you been watching?
All right, what have I been playing? All right, well, like we talked about, I've been streaming a lot, so a lot of the stuff I've been playing has shown up on Twitch. 2 things that I've played repeatedly have been Hollow Knight and a game called Dead Cells. They're both similar in that they're like 2D platforming, Metroidvania type games.
Mm-hmm.
Hollow Knight has a really cool art style. I think it's all like cartoonish, but very dark and like bug-like. Like all your
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Not a lot of color in that. It's like the opposite of Dead Cells.
Yeah.
The palette concerned.
It starts out kind of slow to the point where like I didn't even enjoy like the movement of it, but as you get unlocks and upgrades, it really kind of opens up and just the movement feels a lot better. Lately, that's been kind of a thing I keep coming back to on my channel. Is like I like games that give you quick movement and allow a lot of versatility and like going back and forth and maneuvering around enemies and stuff like that. So Hollow Knight's been pretty cool. Boss battles are fun. Dead Cells, on the flip side of that, it's not as story driven or I don't know. I guess Hollow Knight is more story driven. Dead Cells is very much like a rogue like, I guess.
Spelunky-esque.
Yep. You get your runs. Spelunky is a pretty good counterpart.
Love me some Splunky.
Spelunky 2 announced. Why isn't that on the list?
Yeah, that actually is pretty hype.
Damn. Well, because they didn't really tell us anything. I think we're going up. That's all it is. We're just climbing a big ass mountain.
Dead Cells is cool because, again, the movement is really cool. You can dodge enemies. You can break doors and stun enemies. You can do like a downward dash and stun people. Lots of different weapons you can find throughout your runs. And then you collect Dead Cells to upgrade your equipment and your abilities, like after you beat a level. And if you completely upgrade one, it's like always unlocked for you. So it's worth, trying to kill enemies and upgrade your stuff, because that's how you get stronger and stronger and stronger, and therefore make it further and further into the levels. I have no idea. It is in early access still, so I don't know if there's actually an end. But as far as I could tell, it feels like a complete game right now, which is really cool. Early access games usually show their blemishes. And you can kind of be like, well, it's not really done yet. But I think Dead Cells is a pretty complete experience right now. I've also, games-wise, been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 again, because I hop into that game like once or twice every year and just pour hours into it. Like I have nothing better to do with my time, so I'm just gonna ride this chocobo and kill cat bats for 2 hours. But it's actually, the story's gotten really cool. I'm just starting Heavensward, so I'm like really far behind in terms of what's out there. But I always enjoy my time when I come back to that game. I'm on server Hyperion, which is a legacy server, and if you guys want to play Final Fantasy 14 and hop on that server, go ahead. I'd be happy to, tank for you guys.
Analogies. Well, that's an option for things to do.
Yeah.
Another option is Monster Hunter.
But
But nobody plays that game.
Oh.
We'll get back to that.
I miss those sound effect buttons. Less than a week to go, boys, but we'll get into it.
There you go. And then real quick, I have been playing Knack 2 a little bit. People want to hate on Knack, but I like Knack.
There you go. Every year.
It's not terrible. It's a really simple, just like action platformer. You run around, you punch goblins, you jump and you swing a little bit. It's totally fine. Looks pretty. And Knack 2 is completely co-op, drop in, drop out. And I bought one of those PlayStation 4 mini controllers, so my daughter can play. And she actually is having a good time. She's only 3 years old, so she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she can dash around with the right stick, and she can punch goblins. So it's a success.
Well, speaking as an adult, I don't really know what I'm doing either. That's life, ain't it?
Who knows what anybody's doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I didn't write it down, but like I guess I've been watching The Punisher on Netflix. I'm almost done with that series, so I think that's a really good series. Have you guys watched it at all?
No,
I haven't got to see it yet.
Yeah,
forget about it.
Like I'm admittedly kind of like sick of superheroes, but Punisher kind of isn't really a superhero. Yeah. And I think what they do with that show is
he's a super in the way that all Americans are superheroes. Guy with gun.
I feel like it's a really good show. Like every episode has really good acting in it, good action. A lot of these other Netflix shows, it's like you get your peaks and valleys. Like some episodes are amazing, and then you get a couple slow ones. Like I've been really happy with Punisher, and I only got like 2 more episodes left, so I highly recommend it if you're interested.
Uber violent.
Yeah, pretty violent. It's not for the faint of heart. There's headshots and blood and holes in people.
My goodness. I don't have the Netflix. Let's see. Yeah, I don't
What
know.
have you guys been up to?
I don't know. Let's ask Kyle. Kyle, what's been playing with
Yes. And I actually filled out the
you?
document. But I can't get to it in time. Well, okay, I'll
I think
free ball it.
About Alan Wake.
Yeah, I actually went back and finished that. I just beat it last week or so. I started it when it was the Cartridge Club Game of the Month, but I only did a chapter or two.
That's wild.
No, I liked it, but I never got around to playing more of it. I sat down at the beginning of the year. I'm like, this is one I want to do for sure, and I'm glad I did. It was a fantastic story. There isn't a whole lot, at least in my opinion, that Xbox can offer exclusively, but very controversial. But yeah, Alan Wake was good stuff.
Is that one of the ones you can play on Xbox One?
Yeah, I was actually doing it on the X1.
That's cool.
Yeah, just winding and twisting the story. I mentioned this earlier, but it's either like a super smart layered story, or I'm just dumb and wasn't following along too well. But I get it.
I mean, I think it's safe to say it kind of gets up its own ass towards the end, which that maybe is taking it a little too far. I'm not saying it's bad, because we were talking earlier. Like, I think the story is really great, but it's like you can kind of follow, and then like that last 90 to 100% of the game, it kind of ends up just like throwing shit at you, like, and then this happens, and then it's crazy, and then this turn, and you're like, what is happening anymore?
No, I agree.
Like I had a grasp.
Just when you thought you knew what was happening.
I've never played it. I own 2 copies of it, but haven't got around to it.
You own 2 copies and you haven't played it?
Yeah. Man, if I turn my camera, I could show you my Xbox 360 collection. He's Combat 6. I want to play that. Haven't played that. Saw. Haven't played that. Beautiful Katamari. Haven't played that. There's a few games there. Prey. The original Prey. Haven't played that.
I want to play the new Prey.
Actually, I got 2 Beautiful Katamaris. Nice.
We need that Steven room tour sometime.
Ugh, what a mess. What a mess.
That would be a good video.
Yeah.
Messy video.
Maybe if you clean it up and then do it.
Yeah.
But no, otherwise, Switch-wise, I finished Mario Odyssey like most everyone else. That was, well, finished as, and I got end credits, but there's still a lot more to do. I liked the post-credit content. Very nostalgic, if you know what I mean. What else? Shoot. Little Dead or Alive with the girlfriend. Just kind of been hooked on that, so that's been fun.
I like the new Punching Girl.
DOA 5. Yeah. Really makes me want to get some of that Street Fighter. I think Steven's been tweeting about that.
Yeah,
the arcade.
I was gonna start up the CAPMAX Fight Boys, but we haven't had any meetings yet.
Oh, here's the list. All right. Yeah, Order 1886. That was fun on the PS4. Great story with that as well. Beautiful game. It's actually one of the best looking games I think I've seen.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it's a lot of people say it's short. Maybe I'm one that I do kind of take my time and explore, so I might have added an extra hour or two just looking around. One particular area was a little trickier in catacombs, and there's a big gunfight. That one took a few tries, but otherwise it's pretty doable. Let's see, last one. Oh no, just and then watching wise, I've been watching kind of like the last episode I was on here, more of the Star Trek Discovery. I'm one of the people who actually enjoy it. I think it's great.
Okay, so what's going on with this latest episode? Why is everyone getting so excited? Is this the evil universe? Is that what I'm...
Well, yeah, I mean, minor spoilers. They left their mid-season finale kind of on a cliffhanger, like, where are we? And it turns out they're in the mirror universe, Terran Empire stuff. So, and they're kind of stuck there because, how can I word it? How they got there, they're unable to get back the same way. So, and they're actually looking for. Well, okay, this will be a little bit spoilerish. You may want to skip ahead a minute here.
I think Star Trek Discovery needs spoilers right now because it feels like there's not enough positive hype going for it. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's the worst thing ever. It's the worst."
Oh no, it's not. Well, this could tickle some fancy then. If you remember in Enterprise, they did a mirror universe two-parter where they found the Defiant, which was from the original series. So they talk about it again because it's still in the mirror universe, and they're going to try to use that to get back to their own universe.
Yeah, it was like a
little bit of a
more advanced ship than what they had in the mirror universe at the time, and they kind of just rolled through the cosmos with it.
Mm-hmm.
When
that's kind of cool.
So
cool idea.
Yeah, it's kind of so that ties in to Enterprise, which tied into the original series. So I like that.
I appreciate when like anything recognizes their legacy and kind of like adds that to the lore and fiction.
I think they kind of had to.
I'm not a Star Trek fan, but like hearing that, I think that's a cool idea since it's kind of already been like we know it's in the Mirrorverse, so let's go back.
Yeah. Well, a lot of issues I think people have is that they keep doing these prequel series, and everyone's just like, "Well, let's see what happened after Voyager." Yeah, we gotta go back.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah, it's done. No, I think that's the number one complaint with Discovery. Like, if it just took place in the distant, even after the next gen era, I don't think anyone would be having a big problem with that. They have a spaceship that can just teleport anywhere it wants. That's pretty advanced.
That's cheating.
So
that's not nearly boaty enough for my tastes. Teleporting ships. It's bananas.
Yeah. Well, it will be interesting because they obviously didn't have that in the original series or next gen. Otherwise, Voyager would have been like, "Oh, okay, teleport back to." So something's going to happen with it, I think. So.
Yeah, I've only seen snippets of this Discovery series. It seems okay. Nothing I've really felt the need to watch. To acquire the episode.
Well, it has that modern storytelling where it's just kind of one big story arc for the whole season.
Got that modern lens flare. Can't even see what I'm looking at.
Got the lens flare.
Yeah. Turning down the
little darker
on that screen. Hate that.
It's a little darker.
Why do they keep redesigning the Klingons? We don't need that.
Well, I mean that's a thing too, where I won't say anything about that, but it's if you notice, they looked more human in the original series, and I think they're kind of explaining that. They're kind of explaining that a little bit in Discovery. So
yeah, they sort of.
I think people just need to give it. Yeah, people just need to give it some time. Yeah. I think they're telling an intricate story that needs a little bit of space.
Fair enough. What about the other one? The Orville. Into Orville?
I've never seen that yet. No.
Yeah, I saw it too. It was I don't know. I didn't. The ship didn't feel right. It felt too big. Kevin Barrett on Mars hates it when I describe things in Orville negatively. Anyway, this ship just feels wrong and not nearly boaty enough. I don't know. It looks like a rec center or something. Like they're in a YMCA, like a really fancy YMCA. Like the walkways are just very wide and they have this like weird angle to them. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that yet.
You see that first episode where they were spinning around a big spaceship? That would like break necks. I didn't like that at all. And then they shot a laser at a seed in space and made it a tree, and then the tree broke through a spaceship or something. And it's like, oh boy. And then it's trying to.
So is it more of a
trying to be funny, and then it's.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I was just going to ask if it's more of a comedy trying to be serious or vice versa.
it's I don't know. It feels like a conflict in genres, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like them. I don't want to watch them. Maybe I will. I don't know. It took me years to watch Enterprise, so maybe someday I'll find Star Trek Discovery, the complete series on Blu-ray 2.0 at a thrift store, and I'm like, oh, cool. Then I'll watch it, and I'm like, this is okay. That's how that'll go.
8K Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm. All right. What is MXC?
Oh, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
You don't know that, Steve?
Is that?
Oh, thank you.
That's the crazy Japanese show.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it might be something new.
It's
easily
good.
one of the funniest shows ever. Like easily.
Is that on Netflix now? Is that what's happening?
No. They're on Amazon. I purchased them.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Mm.
I have the DVDs for them, but I was looking at them on Amazon, and I guess they're kind of pricey, so I'm going to keep them in pristine condition. I didn't know they were quite the hot commodity, so I just got them digitally to watch. But yeah, in Japan, it's Takeshi's Castle is like a game show in the 80s, and they just brought it over here and overdubbed everything and made it humorous. I think it was already a pretty funny show, just...
Just wacky Japanese game shows.
This one's wacky, all right.
Mm-hmm.
MXX is I don't know. Anytime they brought it over, when they brought it over to English, I mean, when they dubbed it, that was fine. But then they do like they completely ripped off the show.
Yeah,
right? I forget what it was called. Wipeout, right?
Oh yeah. Wipeout's not even funny.
It's so not even close. Like, yes, seeing somebody get hit with a ball is funny, but MXX was like
MXC perfect. Had the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't laugh once watching Wipeout.
I'm glad you brought it up because I want to go back and watch some of those episodes now really bad.
Yeah, they have them on YouTube as well. They're not great quality, but
yeah, well, I mean, it never really was that great quality.
Standard definition.
Yeah, SD.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Fun show to go back to, certainly.
Oh, super recommended.
Mm-hmm. And then you had few movies and anime.
Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
Oh yeah, the anime is it's an anime called Lucky Star.
Okay.
I'm a big Haruhi Suzumiya fan. I think I might have mentioned that on the last episode as well. So it's kind of I don't know if it's the same creator, but it's the same voice cast, and it's an anime about a girl who loves anime. So it'd be like, a Steven anime, and it's about him collecting toys and games. So
I live that anime every day. That's one of the little short blue-haired girl, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
If there ever was a Kyle in anime, that would be me, I guess. That's kind of my personality.
Have you seen the one about like the black-haired girl with like the bags under her eyes? Watamote, I think is what the.
No.
You should look that up. You'd probably dig it.
I have not.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna look it up. What?
My anime fandom's it's very narrow. There's a few that I have watched and really like. I need to expand that more.
Yeah. If you look it up,
what blows my mind when I think about it is how much anime there is, and then how small of a state Japan is, and then how badly they're paid for making that anime. Like I've read plenty of stories where like, animators and stuff are just like so underpaid, and it's like, man, but there's so much of it. Why do people do it then? Love it. It's passion for the work, I guess.
That's probably an anime for everyone in Tokyo.
Certainly. But yeah, I would recommend if you like.
Yeah, I need to expand my horizons more, but.
Watamote. Check that out. Alrighty, good stuff. Anything else you want to mention before we move on?
No.
Okay, I guess my turn. Hey, me, what you been playing? What you been watching? Well, okay, so Monster Underworld beta. I played a bit of it. It's the problem with that is that like Monster Hunter is all about like killing big ass dinosaurs and taking their fangs to make into a cool new sword. But in the beta, it doesn't really matter what you do because it doesn't save anything.
Right.
So that kind of cuts into the fun. I mean, it's good for just learning the new weapon attacks and all that, and just getting a feel for it. It's good for streaming. Everyone's streaming it though. I didn't stream it because I feel that would be very difficult to get noticed. Maybe some of my already existing fan base might drop in, but yeah.
I was watching one of my friends play against that big, like, bull dragon looking thing.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Yeah, good game, hopefully. That's out this Friday. The 20th? 26th. Yeah, 26th. That's the same day the Dragon Ball Z Fighters comes out, too, so.
I did play the beta, actually. I forgot about that. I played the DBZ beta.
Was it worth the trouble? I've seen people stream it. Same thing. It's just like, ugh. I don't know.
It was
kind of like a
it was
2D
rough
fighting
that first day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Looks good. Like it looks like the anime, but in a 2D, like you said, it's a Street Fighter style game.
Yeah, it plays. It seems like it does have that, like, if you just pick up and play with, like, by yourself or with, like, a friend, like, it's very easy to do cool stuff. So
yeah,
it's got that going for it. But if you play against somebody who knows what they're doing, like, it's pretty deep. So that's nice. I played like 2 matches and got my ass whooped, but I wasn't sure if I really enjoyed, like, just kind of how combos get laid out and just kind of
very chaotic.
Yeah, like, but again,
that's from my old age. I'm just like, oh,
it's a young man's game,
right? It could just be, you got to learn those games.
Yeah, I mean,
Street Fighter. If you hop in and play an online match in Street Fighter, you're probably gonna hate it your first time.
Yeah, it's like with I lost my own train of thought. I was gonna say more at the end of the show what I'm looking forward to, but I've got fighting games there because I've got fighting games ready to be played. I just haven't yet, which is why I'm not mentioning them here in what you've been playing, what you've been watching. But yeah, Monster Hunter World Beta, the latest one is out now. Like I said, I could stream it. I'm indifferent to it because there's kind of like it'd be like playing Diablo without the loot. You know what I mean? Just like good game, but like we're missing like one half of the whole concept of it. You know what I mean? Like I can do the thing, but then it's just like thanks for playing, and then you're back to the main menu. Like oh. Like it's just time. Like I'd rather get good in the actual game because then at least I'm picking up like fruits and berries for my items and looking at footprints. There's a thing now where you look at footprints and there's little bugs that come out of jar and they just show you where to go. Like it's never been easier to play the game.
Yeah.
We'll stream it once it comes out.
Yeah. There's gonna definitely be a lot more to say about it once the real game is out. But I mean it looks good. Crazy PS4 modern current gen graphics. Unfortunately, the Nintendo Switch Monster Hunter still isn't available for anyone outside of Japan. I mean, you can order in the Japanese version, play it in Japanese. Oh, I don't want to do that. But
learn
that happens, which I hope it happens. It's really the only console Monster Hunter we've had since Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. Which, don't get me wrong, it's a hella good game, but I mean, old game's old, right, Austin?
Old game old.
Old game old. But yeah, Monster Hunter World Beta. It needs more color. It's kind of, it almost feels Call of Duty'd in a way. Like it's kind of got like the browns and the greens and the grays. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't need
the gritty realism.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying, I'm unexpectedly unhyped for it at this time. It's beta, Ugh. I'll tell you what though, I got a complete game here called Dragon Quest Builders. Now that's a good ass game. That's man,
allegedly
good game actually. Yeah,
I'm just kidding. It's a good game.
You monster. Yeah, Austin
I never played that either.
Gave up. It's kind of a mix between overhead camera, Zelda meets ActRaiser 1 on the Super Nintendo. That's what I think is the best analogy comparison I can make. I gotta look up the definition of analogy. I feel I've said it too many times this episode. Yeah, so long story short, it's basically the end of the world. Once upon a time, there was a knight who was supposed to save the world. But for a goof, he actually decided to team up with the last boss and brought the world into darkness. So that's how the game starts. And you're just this guy who's in a grave. And then God is like, now you live again and you have the power of creation. And you just go from island to island and you just find these little like ruins and you rebuild them Minecraft style into houses and usable structures again. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the camera is very much like top down, looking down. So there's no real need for roofs in any buildings. You make walls to keep monsters out, of course, much like America. But there's got him. Is that happening? Did that actually happen, or is that just like a weird political thing?
And that has not happened yet.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Huh? We get into that later. It's interesting news. The wall was a lie. But yeah, it actually does feel like that at times though, because some monsters can actually bust through walls. So there's like a rock type called obsidian, which is real good for walls. I'm like, yeah, like it feels very good when you have your base surrounded by obsidian, because those monsters probably aren't going to get through that. But yeah, no, if you liked the idea of Minecraft but thought it was pointless, like this is that, but there's an actual story. You're literally trying to save the world, and
it's got a lot of quests, like goals. I guess it's a lot more goal driven than Minecraft. To where
it's got a focus on Minecraft.
People come up to you and it's like, hey, I need a room with like 2 chairs and something on the wall. So then it's like, okay, well I gotta go find this stuff to build that. Oh, we need a watchtower to, take out enemies or something. So like that was something, personally I really liked about it, because I don't like aimlessly wandering and just figuring stuff out all the time. Like I need a goal. I need a place to go to.
Yeah, it has that. One thing I actually really liked, I didn't know I was going to do this. Not a spoiler, but every chapter is actually, you reset everything. You start at a different island completely with different characters. I mentioned it before when I talked about Minecraft, but I liked making a base, then leaving the base and making a new base, and leaving that base and making a new base elsewhere, and then I have bases all across the countryside. And this game gives me that right from the get-go. Like, yeah, you get me, Dragon Quest builders, you get me. And you can even do mine carts and railways. I love that too. Like, yeah,
I like it.
That was a neat.
You're selling me on the game.
Yeah, it's good. It's hella good. I can't say it's a game of the year because I don't even know what year it came out. A year or two ago.
2016.
Okay, sounds about right. But yeah, no,
it was like the very end of 2016.
Originally, I played the demo on the Vita, and of course, it's also coming out now on the Nintendo Switch. So if anyone has that system, I definitely recommend getting it there. If you don't get it on the PS4 now or the Vita now. Dragon Quest Builders gets my thumbs up. Streamed a whole bunch of it. At this point, like I finished the game, but I can go back to early chapters, and there's in-game like kind of achievements to do. Like one is make a really big spa, so that's one I need to do. I made the spa, but I made it outside of the base, and you can't do that because you need to have a tree in the spa, but the tree won't grow unless it's in the base. And anyways, good ass game, Dragon Quest Builders. I like it. And there's a sequel coming out that looks amazing. It almost looks too big because there's a good like a grounded feel to good Dragon Quest Builders. Like there is verticality, but you get just feels good. Feels good, man. Just the way this game is, it feels good. But now the sequel, like there's just tons more verticality. The mountains are much higher. Now you can go underwater, so there's like tons of space underwater now. You just drowned originally. It's part of the quest that you're kind of trapped on these islands. But this sequel looks pretty intense, and I'm kind of worried maybe it looks a bit too Minecrafty. We'll see. We'll see that happen. but it has co-op. Dude,
Ooh,
co-op.
I
That's gonna
like
be
co-op.
Captain Incredible.
Hmm.
And it even has the Breath of the Wild parachute thingies, so you can fly around if you jump off a cliff. Improved water physics, you know. So that'll be fun. That'll definitely be a day one purchase when Dragon Quest Builders 2 comes out. Okay, next, Breath of the Wild DLC Pack 1 and 2. Now this is the DLC episode. We will get into it more, but we won't. We're going to talk more about just the general concepts of DLC when we get to that point. So Breath of the Wild DLC 1 and DLC 2. Unfortunately, it is what I worried about. I think I said this in an earlier episode, but Breath of the Wild, definitely a Nintendo 18 game. You know, they got our top people working on this one. Game of the year, yeah. Best game ever, quite possibly.
Century?
It's pretty damn good, Breath of the Wild. Which one's better, Steven? Dragon Quest Builders or Breath of the Wild? Shut up, don't ask me that. Different games. But DLC packs 1 and 2 are definitely more of a B team production. They kind of just said, well, we got this big map. Let's just throw in more random shrines here and there, and we'll put in a bunch of random like fan servicey costume items. So that was kind of lame. Kind of just like, here's a random ruin in the Breath of the Wild, and now there's a book, and you read the book, and it tells you where random treasures are now located, so you can go get those and have more armor. That's kind of lame. The main bulk of it is DLC Pack 1. It has the Trial of the Sword, which is kind of neat. If you guys were fans of the Eventide Island quest, where you just kind of end up on a deserted island and all your items are gone, this is that, but now in like a challenge. What would you call it? Every game has it. Every Square game had it. Like the challenge dungeons where there's 50 floors and you can't go back. So it's like that, and I do dig that. It's a fun challenge. It still kind of felt.
I remember that island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trigger definitely did that. I think on the DS. But
Tell you what I didn't like on that DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid weapon where you got to do 3 shrines, and it's like, oh, it could kill anything in one hit, but you only got a quarter of a heart.
We'll get to that. That's DLC Pack 2.
Stupid.
It was all right. You just do long range attacks the whole time.
It got better.
Yeah.
Got better than that.
It wasn't great.
Started out rough.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I left it. I didn't care all that much at first, but it's something to do in Best Game Ever. So these sword trials, I did eventually get through them all. There's one part in the it actually breaks up into 3 chapters to the Sword of the Trial. There's easy chapters, medium chapters, hard chapters. In medium chapters, there's one of those dark areas. You know, the ones where you can't see anything unless you've got a torch. So that was a pretty mean trick Nintendo played on us with that, but it wasn't bad. They had a Hinox in one of them.
Switch it up.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole point of these things is that you start with nothing, no armor, no weapons or anything, so you kind of just run around, pick up a stick. Very much like the start of the game, but you know, you got to figure everything out a lot faster. That's kind of fun. I have a pro tip for anyone out there who's at the hard chapters. Look for those ancient arrows and save them for Lionels, because you don't want to fuck with Lionels when there's no continues.
Good tip.
Yeah. And I don't like those flying guardians. Those things are hard to kill. I need to get good against those things. I don't know. You can shoot them from, if you go above them, you can shoot their
shot, and then you're screwed.
Yeah, you can shoot their propellers off, and that's kind of fun, but I don't like those flying ones there. Those are tricky. So yeah, I made my Super Master Sword. It's good. You know, it breaks less often. Then it doesn't break, but it needs to quote unquote recharge.
Yeah.
So I guess that was more or less DLC Pack 1. There's probably extra bits and pieces. So you get that thing we can see where you've been on the map, which is pretty useful if you want to just explore and see where you haven't been yet, to find more Koroks or whatnot. Korok Mask is pretty useful. Same thing. And shakes make Korok noises when you are nearby one.
Which I didn't see of that game when that path thing came out. I watched my whole little path get drawn, and I'm like, oh wow, I haven't touched this, haven't touched that, haven't went there. I was like, man,
and seeing this corner.
Yeah, it's such a huge game. Like there were just paths, regular paths that I didn't go on.
Yeah.
So I got on my dirt bike from DLC Pass 2 and went up a hill. This is a really neat path, actually. Like the Zora Mountains from the outside look it's just a big ass wall, and there's a neat little path. You know that one. It's not the Colosseum, but there's that one castle that's just in ruins.
Yeah.
I don't
Lionel
remember.
inside of it.
Yeah, the big ass castle. Whatever. It's kind of like as big as Hyrule Castle, but it's a ruin now. There's a neat path on the side of that. You know, just what a beautiful game to exist in and spend time. And Kyle saw me streaming that one time, and there's just so many distractions in every corner. Like, oh, here's my horse. That's right around. Oh, there's a shiny thing. Go over there. Oh, there's a dragon. You gotta go over there now. Oh, correct.
Yeah,
Nope.
you were doing something new every minute.
Yeah, and that's after doing pretty much everything. Like, there's still so much to do. What a wonderful.
Yeah, I still gotta get those myself.
Mm-hmm. Man, Dragon Quest Builders and Breath of the Wild. Man, oh man, that is some good game. Excuse me. Okay, DLC Pack 2. What did they add? The quest Austin mentioned where you get this weird looking sword which kills enemies in one hit, but also you get killed in one hit. You only have it for a little bit. You can just use arrows.
Yeah.
Let's run around, find more shrines, see little cutscenes. That's kind of cool. So if you like those dead champions that were kind of characters but kind of ghosts, do you see more of them? You see little cutscenes. If you go back and redo the dungeon fight, they talk to you and they say different things every time. Just YouTube that. You don't need to do that again. It's faster to YouTube it. Yeah, you read fight bosses once again, kind of just reusing old assets. Here's a bunch more shrines to find. I never was overly fond of the shrines. They're not bad, but there's the master mode where everything is harder, and I do want to play that at some point, but I don't want to find all those shrines again. So it's just like, yeah, maybe someday.
Those major test of strength shrines were awful.
Those are fun. Those are fun.
Like, all my weapons will break just trying to do this shrine.
Yeah. But yeah, DLC Pack 2, just more of that, do the thing. There's a new dungeon. It's fine. More weird shapes moving around. It's like you're in a big clock. The boss of that extra dungeon is a fun surprise. I won't spoil that. Austin knows what it is.
Yeah. I do know what it is. That was pretty fun.
And then at the end, you get a dirt bike because someone on the B team really likes dirt bikes. And is like, let me add a dirt bike. It'll be a fun end of DLC bonus. I'm like, okay.
All right.
And it's like one of the giant guardians that shoot lasers at Ganon, but it's just a dirt bike. Because Link deserves one of those thingies too. And it's you dirt bike around Hyrule. It's like a horse but faster. It goes up hills real good. You feed it food like gas. And there you go. Dirt bike. Oh, Nintendo.
Feed it food.
Oh, good game's good. Breath of the Wild. Dragon Quest Builders. Good stuff. Layers of Field DLC. I'm just going to zip through these now because it's almost time for recess. Layers of Field DLC. I played on PS4. I wouldn't really recommend the DLC. The base game of Layers of Fear, still a good game. Ending sucks. I still think it was best in early access because there was no ending. It wasn't done yet.
Is that what the DLC was? The real ending?
It's kind of a semi-sequel to what happened.
I never finished it. I meant to. But
there you go. The ending sucks. That's why.
Now I won't have to.
Yeah. But
Cross that off the backlog.
Yeah, exactly. It was just something I got. It was on like a PSN flash sale, so Layers of Fear got the complete edition on PS4. So I played the DLC. There's not much to report, but it's on the list. I still say play Layers of Fear, at least the base game, because it is cool. It's kind of a walking simulator, but it's a spooky walking simulator. It kind of fills the void that PT left behind. Kind of. It needs a run button. All those walking simulators. Like I keep saying, just put a run button in your walking simulator. The guy, he has a limp. I get it.
It's fair.
Anyways. Hold on, I got a cough. I'm back. Okay. I saw the movie. Saw the movie Split. That's a damn good movie. If you liked M. Night Shyamalan's early movies, then you definitely got to see Split. It is unfortunately one of those movies you can't say a whole lot about because it does kind of get into spoiler territory. It's about these girls who are kidnapped by a guy, but it turns out the guy has a split personality with like 10 people. So that's interesting. And they're all stuck in this like place, and they're like, we can't get out because this guy is crazy, and there's like, he's got all these multiple personalities. What can we do? And yeah, it's the kind of thing where you want to spoil it, but you shouldn't because it's so cool. Once you figure out what's happening and what's going to happen next, and then the ending is super cool. If you've seen the early M. Night Shyamalan movies, and that's all I can really say. It might have been spoiled for people by now, but I hope it wasn't, because the ending would have been extra cool if I hadn't known what was going to happen. Those shitheads over at the Super Best Friend Cast spoiled it for me real good. Get Out. That's the movie about black guy in the white neighborhood, and it's all white people are kind of racist, but then there's more to it. It was okay. It wasn't great. I get it.
It was good.
It was all right. It was fine. I kind of liked the concept for the white people, though. I'm like, you know what? I could see that being a thing if you're a rich white guy. Yeah, there's something there. I think there's a business there.
I mean, that's in the end. Like, I thought that was like a really, really cool twist. Like,
yeah, I mean, the whole
that was
like
I was not expecting to go into that movie and see what was really going on.
Yeah, once again, much like Split, its movie can't really get into details out. Now, if we ever get the CAPMAX movie cast started, then we'll get into it definitely. But that's another can of worms right there. But yeah, no, it was fine. I didn't know it was that easy to hypnotize people.
It is. You're hypnotized right now, Steve.
Probably.
You're
I'm
actually
awake.
a completely different person. Your
I'm
name
awake
is Brian.
on Saturday at noon. I must be hypnotized. I don't have a headache though, so that's good. If I sleep too long now, I get headaches, and that's no good.
I get that too. Oh my god,
it's the worst, right? Your body doesn't know what it wants.
It's like every Sunday.
I feel the same way sometimes. Yeah, that's weird.
You get to a certain age where it's bad to sleep in. It hurts. Your body wants it, but it doesn't want it. There's different departments. There's the body department, the head department, the stomach department. So, oh man, what a mess. And finally, I watched the movie Brain Scan because I bought it for a couple bucks at Value Village. So we're just about at recess, but Brain Scan is the movie about this kid who loves horror movies, horror magazines, this and that horror. And he has his latest episode of, what's it? Fangoria magazine. And there's this ad for this crazy new CD-ROM video game for the PC called Brain Scan. It's like, oh, this looks like the coolest thing ever. So he orders it in, gets it in, puts his CD-ROM into his external CD-ROM drive for his computer. It's one of those era movies. It's like the mid 80s or late 80s or early 90s, something around there. So it's fun. Get that weird old-fashioned tech. And the game says, sit down, strap in for the most intense horror experience you've ever experienced. It's the ultimate in latest VR technology. He's like, yeah, it's going to be awesome. So he turns it on. It kind of gets sucked into the TV. He's like, oh my God, what happened? And suddenly he's in the quote-unquote game, but the game wants him to kill a man. And he's like, this is crazy. It's like I'm really there. And the game starts him off in this kitchen at night time. And he's like, pick your murder weapon. He's like, oh man, picks up this crazy kitchen knife. And the game's like, go upstairs with your kitchen knife. Then goes up the stairs, go into that room. And there's this guy. He's asleep. He's like, now kill him. He's like, oh man, this game is so real. It's so visceral. He's like, kill him. Go. So it's like, stabs the body in the bed at night. He's like, you've completed chapter 1. And then it's sucked back out from the TV, back into reality. It's like, oh my God, this game is intense. How did that even happen? I didn't have goggles on. This isn't PSVR. What is going on? This is so crazy. And then the next day he starts up and he's watching the local news. You know, it's maybe like morning breakfast before school. And it's like, so in local news, a local man was murdered in his sleep last night. He was stabbed in his bed with a knife. And it's like, oh my God, it wasn't a game at all. It was real. And then, so that's Brain Scan. So the voice that was telling him to do stuff becomes a person called Trickster. And it got a very heavy, like Beetlejuice or even Little Monsters vibe out of this Trickster character. It's like this crazy demon. He's evil, but he's like chaotic. He's kind of fun in a way, but he's bad, but you know, you kind of dig him. So you kind of felt like that, but not nearly as popular as Beetlejuice or even Maurice from Little Monsters. You guys remember Little Monsters?
Yes.
Yeah. It's been on
I
TV
remember Real Monsters.
Different thing, but not too different. So now he's got this crazy demon guy like, yo, you got to play chapter 2 and 3. It's going to be the coolest thing ever. He's like, I can't do it. You made me kill a guy. I thought it was just a video game. He's like, no, you got to do it or I'll turn you in. It's like, you fucker. So then he's got to do chapter 2 and chapter 3. And I won't go into it. I guess it's kind of spoilers. Not really, but the movie wasn't that good. But you see it at Value Village for a couple bucks.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's something. He had a friend.
Late,
who may or may
early
not
90s
die,
thriller type.
Yeah, kind of. It could be a cult classic in the right circles, I guess. Okay. So, that's it. What's been playing, what's been watching? Which means it must be time for our recess. People, do we need to take a recess? Grab a snack? Use the washroom? You guys up for that? Do you need to do anything? Or do I just keep going? Really?
Bladder's good.
Okay. Do I need to?
Good. Do you need to?
No, I'm pretty good. Maybe after the Nintendo Watch. We'll see. I finished my coffee and I've more or less finished my Powerade and that's mixing in me. So, stomach department, we'll see how it goes. Okay, no, we'll just keep going.
All right.
I don't really have any songs picked up for recess or end of episode. We'll see. We'll see where we go. Okay then.
Soundtrack to your brain scan.
There you
go. I'll make a note of that. Brain scan. I don't remember the music at all though. Question mark. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll keep going. On to the Nintendo Watch. That part of the show when we... Oh, wait. We got to check with the chat. Austin Clark in the chat. You cheater. We got something in the chat. No, whatever. I don't know, man. I thought people would be awake at this time of day. Austin in the chat asks Breath of the Wild DLC or Dragon Quest Builders, Steve. And dude, well, if we're just talking DLC, Dragon Quest Builders, definitely.
All right, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
Thank you for that question.
Keep looking at that most wacky, mysterious company, Nintendo, and we say, hey, what are they up to this time? Now, I'll tell you what, there wasn't going to be Nintendo. I was going to make a cute DLC joke where I was going to say, if you want to know what's going on in the Nintendo Watch, you'll have to buy the CAPMAX HYPECAST DLC pack number 1 for $4.99. But they did do a thing, so we do have to talk about it. I told the Emperor of Nintendo, I said, I'm sorry, there's nothing. It's more rehashes and the old games coming to Switch, and that's pretty much all you guys have been doing. He's like, well, you're right. Okay, I'll do the voice. He said, Ada-san, you are correct. Nintendo, very stale. I announced crazy new scheme for Nintendo. Crazy Nintendo fanboys buy anything, even cardboard cutouts. And so they brought us Labo, which Austin has claimed is the best thing ever. Austin, tell us about Nintendo Labo.
All right. Nintendo Labo is probably the most exciting thing Nintendo has done since they got into the video game business.
Oh, boy.
That is not an overstatement. That is the truth. It is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
for your daughter,
Nintendo
or for you?
Switch, for everyone, for the world. Basically, Nintendo is making these packages where they're going to sell you like a box with a game, a Nintendo Switch game, and then a whole bunch of cardboard pieces where you'll build little contraptions that are going to work with your Switch together to create like this really cool experience that brings you closer with the game and brings the game out into the real world. And it's like, oh, I can make a fishing hook and then use the screen on the ground and then go fishing. Or I could put a backpack on my back and then I'm a robot. And it's awesome. It's so cool. But yeah, like as Kyle kind of insinuated, I legit think this is something straight up for kids. Like personally, I don't think I'm going to be like rushing out to get all and every Labo thing. I'll probably want to get they got like an assortment pack with like 4 things. Yeah, with like a piano, I think the fishing hook and something else. Like I'll probably get that to try it out. But yeah, I think this is a big thing for kids, and I think it's a really cool thing for kids to kind of like, you know, get a little more active and like more mechanical and like actually building stuff instead of just you know, watching a screen. But I think about this, like if I was a 10-year-old kid, like that's what makes me more mad than anything. People are getting so mad at Nintendo. I'm just mad that they waited this long to do this. Like I would have flipped my mind if this came out when I was 10 years old. I would have been like, oh my God, this is so great.
Well, we had cardboard boxes back in the day. I mean, we didn't need a Switch attached to them to have fun.
Yeah, but it's facilitating that. It's making it happen, you know? Kids nowadays, they don't want to build swords out of cardboard anymore. They don't, not many of them, you know?
Well,
but yeah, that's what I think about. Like,
have you brought cardboard into your home? I mean, just drop her there and see what happens. Put some crayons in that sumbitch and just go to town. Okay, well, first of all, how much are these?
I think it's really cool.
Are they grotesquely overpriced? Is the Nintendo tax in full effect? Because I thought I saw that they were going to be like.
I think they are less than a Joy-Con controller.
Yeah, it was $70.
I think 70 for like the assortment pack with the game and like a bunch of things, and I think 80 for the robot pack, which kind of weirds me out because like that seemed like a single thing.
Yeah, right.
Got lots of stuff for the cheaper box.
Boy, paying for cardboard.
Or you can get them for triple the price on eBay once the scalpers get a hold of them.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I do think it's. Go ahead. Say...
Oh no, I said, but that's another topic. You know, though.
Scalpers.
Quantity.
Now, to be fair, I don't hate the concept. I mean, it's fun. I mean, I get it. Google did it first, but I mean, like, I'm sure someone did it before Google. But like, if it were like really cheap, then maybe I'd be more on board with it. And once again, it's not a question of whether or not it's fun. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I mean, they could have done this with Wii. We have all, for anyone who does do the value-ish and thrift store shopping, like you've seen countless plastic doodads for the Wiimote, and it's going to be that again, but now it's cardboard. I mean, well, they won't last as long. What happens if you like poke it out wrong and then you rip it? Like, how strong is this cardboard? Like, did you see that one thing on their video where the guy was like playing a piano and he had one of the Joy-Cons on the little foot pedal of the piano? Like, someone's just gonna squish the roller. They're gonna hit the pedal too hard, and it's like, oh God.
Those will wear out.
I mean, I think the best thing about this is going to be the third party support of everything. Like in the toy side of things, like I've said before, is that there's companies out there who have taken designs of subpar made Hasbro Tacra products and have made them better. They've added more paint and better die cast parts and tightened the joints and all that stuff. So I think when that happens, when you can buy like a greasy Chinese version of Labo and it's a better made product, that'll be pretty sweet. And it'll cost you half as much. I mean, like full price, like stack of cardboard that you make yourself, and then they're like crayons. You can color the cardboard. Woo! It's like, really?
But that's the thing. It's not. You're not paying $70 for cardboard. You're paying for the game and the software itself, and then you get cardboard to go along with it.
Oh, is that how that works?
Again,
so you buy like a game with the cardboard.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not.
I would imagine they all have to come together. Yeah.
There'll probably be packs that you could buy separate of just like if you want to buy extra cardboard for $20, maybe. But yeah, the game, the boxes that they've been showing, the two products, they both come with a separate game included, plus the cardboard. And then I don't know how legit it is because I didn't look too much into it, but I did hear from like a couple people, again, just like on Twitter, that Nintendo supposedly will replace the cardboard for free. Like if you send an email to them saying like, I don't know how that works, but if that's the case, then yeah, more power to them. Like that's cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
I also think this thing lives and dies on its software. If the games aren't fun, then who cares?
Yeah.
So, regardless of the cardboard, again, like Steve, you said you like the idea. That's the thing. Like I love the idea, but in the end, like if that fishing game is a joke,
Yeah.
then who cares? You know, if
Yeah.
the robot game is something I just would much rather just play with a controller, sitting on my couch, then what's the big deal?
Yeah, it's
So I
very
think
early.
that's-
It's a
Yeah.
fun announcement, if nothing else. It's something to discuss, but like you said, we don't know what the game's actually going to be like. We don't know how strong and sturdy that cardboard will be. It's a fun idea. I mean, it's classic Nintendo. This is like, I mean, I'm just looking up the things. There's
Nintendo being crazy Nintendo.
a piano and a fishing rod and
I like that they're
something.
in a position to
Is that
do
a motorcycle?
It's crazy. You know?
Yeah, it's fun, I guess.
Yeah. I do agree with you guys. I think, they're always trying to do something vastly different. So
Mhm.
where the others are going 4K and virtual reality, Nintendo's like cardboard.
Mhm.
So one of the things looked pretty cool. It was kind of like, I don't want to say like a car, but something you put the little Joy-Con. It looks like you can race them around because on
Yeah.
the Switch itself you can control. I
I think
that
it's
could
a,
be
I think
kind of
it's a
fun.
motorcycle. Like the
Yeah, it was
handle.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I could see something like that being kind of fun. You set up your own course or something, I would imagine.
It's a
it
new
could be
excitement.
like more new excitement. Yeah. So that would actually generally interest me, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Certainly, the
just,
concepts are cool. And I love robots,
Yeah.
and there's a robot one. I mean, hey,
there's a robot.
look at that backpack.
Yeah, I would
It's out of
imagine,
control.
what if they made like a Transformers type game where you have the cardboard one way and it's a car, then you have to rearrange
have
the
the
pieces.
room. Look at that guy's
Yeah.
motion, though. He's doing this big punch. I have no room for that. I'm not a TV boy. I don't have the wide open white living space that looks like a weird New York loft. That ain't me.
You'd have to rent the apartment next to you and just knock down
There
a
you go.
wall or two.
Yeah, with the robot kit, I'll knock the wall down. Smash
There
through
you
the
go.
cardboard. So I don't know.
It's
Awesome.
silly, but it kind of works too. So I'm just nervous that it's going to be classic Nintendo, and they're going to make 10 of them per state in Providence, and it's going to be impossible to find. You'll see them online for $400.
Very good point. I
You
don't
know
like the
that might
future.
happen.
I go to the
Yeah.
toy department and look for new Transformers, and there's literally nothing. There's just the pegs and nothing there. Like, what? Like, society in general, like, how? Why? Like, come on. Too many people, Austin.
Too
We
many.
need to eliminate half.
Sorry. I added to it. I'm sorry.
The older I get, the more I like the concept
thanks.
of the Watchmen movie. I'm not a super god man, though. Can't enact these products.
I like the Watchmen, though.
You're not
Yes.
blue.
Good stuff.
Yeah. My loin cloth isn't tight enough. Blue. Yeah, no.
Moving on?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. What else is going
What
on?
else,
Nintendo?
There are many, yeah. They did a couple good
There's-
games, or new games.
Was there anything coming out? Nintendo matters less to me than ever because I don't have the Switch, and there's really like who wants to even look at a 3DS anymore?
I don't.
Ugh. And it's got like 2 Monster Hunters, 3 Monster Hunters, and I love Monster Hunter, but I don't want to play it on the little screen. I got the PS4 version coming out less than a week. What? Get hype.
Big screen goodness.
Cardboard. I mean, that'll be interesting to see it when it comes out.
They announced
I
the
hope
new
it's
Mario
not grotesquely
Tennis.
priced. I hope you shut your mouth. Mario Tennis. No one's
Hey,
ever
but-
liked a Mario Tennis.
But
Maybe
it's
the
got,
Game Boy Color one.
I love Mario
That's it.
Tennis.
it's got a story mode, Steve. Everybody's hype about that. This is the
man.
HYPECAST.
That's tight.
Mm.
Mario Tennis 64 is actually probably one of my most played 64 games.
Mm. What about that one that they did on the DS with like the Final Fantasy characters?
Oh, I never.
Like the
What?
basketball one? Hold on.
Oh, 3-on-3 hoops.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never played
Oh, yeah.
Because it had like random. You could be like the white mage and such. Oh,
Yeah, I have that. I never played it too much. I thought it was going to be more like a basketball game. It's just kind of you bounce the ball on a block and you get coins, and you shoot a hoop, and that's how many points you get.
Yeah, Mario Hoops 3 on
Not what I
3.
was expecting.
That was the one, right? It had like random square stuff
something like that.
Yeah.
I have no
Anyway.
idea, Steve.
Anyway.
You're getting me all hyped because you're talking about Final Fantasy, and I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about, and I want to know.
How do you not know? Do you know about Fortune Street?
What game do I buy? Yeah, I do know about Fortune.
I was on the Wii.
Has Dragon Quest people in it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hard to find, though. Probably expensive. If anyone out there likes to do the
Oh.
retro game hunting, look for Fortune Street on the Wii. That'll be worth $1 or $2. I'll tell
I
you
have
what,
that. I should look it up.
You should. Yeah, White Mage from Mario Hoops 3 on 3. There you go. Cool beans. She's using white magic on the basketball. That's racist. Okay, moving on. Once again, do we need to take a recess? Wash and break. Anyone? We good? I'm good. We're good? I'm good. Hour and a half or so?
Feel good.
I don't want to...
We're rolling.
Yeah. All right, cool. Main topic, DLC. So we live in this crazy age now where everything is digital. Like, you can buy things physically, but it's not really even that physical anymore. Like PS4, like half the time you're just installing stuff to the hard drive, and the disc is more of a key just to unlock the digital content. See, we live in this crazy age now where a game can come out and it's done and you're playing it, but then later they're like, hey, we can add to that game you have. That's kind of cool, right? And you're like, yes, I like that game a whole lot. Sometimes they charge you for it, though, and then you're like, maybe I like it a bit less now. So, my first question for our main topic of DLC is, what is DLC to you? Austin, tell us about your thoughts on DLC.
You want me to say what I would like it to be? Like what my picture perfect DLC is? Or what I feel like it is right now?
Sure.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
What I feel like DLC is mostly a cash grab. Like, sadly, I feel like most of it is, developers spend all this time making a game. As far as people getting paid, like people got to get paid to make these games, and what better way than to use assets we've already worked on and created and just add a little more content, add a little more stuff. But the thing is, like what we were talking about earlier with Zelda, like it feels like not every DLC is like this, but the majority of it doesn't feel like it's made by the best people. Feels like it's a lesser team. Feels like it's an afterthought. Very rarely are the stories or the extra missions engaging. Like, not even counting the money stuff, but like you think of pre-order bonuses, where it's like, oh, if you pre-order at GameStop, you'll get this extra mission. It's like, oh, cool, some extra game, yeah. And it's always trash. Like those missions are terrible. Like there's no fun. It's just extra junk.
I love fun.
Maybe again, I don't want to make blanket statements because maybe there are a few that's good, but yeah. In general, I'm not the biggest fan of DLC. In a perfect world, DLC would not be an afterthought, be kind of built right alongside the game, and companies would kind of just be more straight up about it. Is that a lot of people get mad that when some companies announce their DLC before the game is out, but I kind of appreciate that in a way. That way, it's not like just get this DLC right now. But at the same time, it is kind of a cash grab. It's like, okay, so buy our season pass for $100. You can get the game and the season pass. So there is kind of this gray area of like, what do you do with it? I would like it to be more upfront. I would like it to be more more like the original game, you know, more love and care put into it than a lot of times you see. That I like the most is really just I think of like Rock Band or Guitar Hero or Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm. Like they're all music games, but like that's kind of the idea is where like it's just more of the same exact game, but more songs and more content and more of the stuff that I liked about the original game already. You know, you can't really screw up a song. You know, the song is the song. They just got to put the notes to it. So like that stuff, I really appreciate, and I don't mind dropping a few extra bucks for it. It's always the story DLC that makes me weary because I'm like, all right, I don't know how much effort did you really put into this story DLC. And we were talking about Alan Wake earlier, which that game, you know, does end kind of not really on a cliffhanger, but with a lot of open interpretations. And then Xbox did do like 2 separate DLC chapters, and to this day, I have no idea really what happened with that. I don't know if it's a great conclusion to the game, if it expands on it more, or if, like I said, it was just a cash grab to be like, hey, play some more Alan Wake. DLC.
That's some DLC. Kind of. So it's just some thoughts on DLC.
Yeah, I think I kind of mirror a little bit with what Austin said. I think it's kind of it's a very broad topic too. So
yeah,
I had to kind of sit on it. I think that's something certain companies do a lot better with. Like I'm a fan of Rockstar games, and I think a lot of the DLC stuff that they did is perfect. I wish other companies would do that as well. Even going back to like GTA 4, they did those 2 expansions, and they weren't just, you know, a couple extra missions and a few extra things. No, there was like a full on mini Grand Theft Auto game, you know.
yeah.
It was well worth. I think it were $20 when they came out. I got it just on PS3 on the disc, but
the stories.
I think that's good.
Yeah, those
no,
are
just like the Lost and Damned and
yeah.
Ballad of Gay Tony, yeah, and they did that Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption. You know, that added a whole extra story as well. So it's kind of like what Austin was saying. It's like more of what the actual game was, just lots of extra stuff to it. I feel Nintendo
like
go ahead.
Like standalone stuff. Like if they're willing to put the DLC out there by itself and say this is like a whole game, that always usually seems to be like a better just like, okay, we know this is probably going to be good because they're willing to put that out there on the shelf.
Yeah, that's the DLC that I like, and I wish more of these game companies would do. Even Nintendo with their Mario Kart 8, you know, it was, what was it, 11 or 12 US dollars for both packs, and it was more of what you loved. It was extra tracks, a couple extra characters. I think they do it quite good. They don't. Smash Brothers kind of nickel and dimed you a little bit with, here's a map for $2 and here's extra characters. But, you know, it's Smash Brothers, so people were willing to do that. But you see some companies like Capcom, and you know, they're extra costumes. You know, costume pack 5 for these characters. Like, oh my god,
yeah,
that's not helping the case.
Well, I'm thinking like Dead or Alive is a prime example. Questionable DLC. Like it's just
someone who's playing that. $2 for this swimsuit for Kasumi. Yeah,
it's more like DOA games are more like fashion magazines now than fighting games, and you have to
easily
buy
one of the biggest.
Each outfit too. But it's definitely good DLC and bad DLC. It's good that you mentioned Rockstar. That's a good example because definitely like you don't want to make an entire city for a video game and just like here's one story and then that's it. Just make another city. Like why not make more stories? in an existing place. That's an ideal
Yeah,
situation.
so
They
yeah,
did it
and
a lot
even with
better
their
than Nintendo did too with
okay,
their Breath of the Wild DLC, where they kind of just pop in shrines like zits on the map.
yeah, it's just more what you like. And going back to the Alan Wake, those 2 extra episodes, they kind of continued the story a little bit. It was just like extra chapters to the game. It wasn't anything too wild, but like kind of continuous the game. And they did American Nightmare, so I haven't played that yet. I'll have to go back to that, but that's kind of like a standalone game. It plays just like what you loved about Alan Wake. So I really wish, well, and even more recent, that Horizon Zero Dawn, they did their Frozen Wilds. That's more
That
of
looks
what
like
you love. So
pretty big
Oh
DLC.
yeah.
yeah,
Is that new
so
terrain? It looks new. It's like a whole Arctic location. I
yeah, I haven't
didn't
played it
hear
yet
I don't
myself.
know.
But,
I can't speak for it. I'll get to
so
it.
I do wish that would be the formula that companies would follow. But I'm also one, I'm probably out of the three of us, I am kind of a Call of Duty player. I don't, not that obsessed with it, but I've gotten like map packs in the past. So
Do you have to pay for those?
well, yeah, it's season pass, or you get them separately for like 15 US bucks. But it's nice to go back because some of the maps are creative, but you kind of wish they would have all together,
Yeah.
like you were announcing, like here we're announcing our game and announcing our DLC. Is like just combine them all together. I think if you have all that material and content ready, put it in your main game, and
Game of the Year edition. It's like with Street Fighter, which is a prime example. It's like they said from the start that they wouldn't need to buy any more discs, but well, it's true. I guess it is true because the arcade edition, which just came out, is just the original disc with a new cover on the front, but it doesn't have the additional season characters in it. It just comes with a code for those characters, which you download. I was hoping it would just be on a disc, but it's still the original disc.
That's funny.
Unfortunate. It's fine, I guess. Like definitely a sign of the times, because it's not going anywhere. It's just it is what it is. It's digital.
Have you guys? Have you guys?
I was gonna say that's a little. Oh, go
ahead. Sorry.
I'll be quiet.
Have you followed Final Fantasy 15 at all? And it's DLC
about noodles, food,
Mecha.
Nissan. Mecha?
No, but like they basically, like when people talk about games as a service and being like, "Hey, this is the one game you can play forever because we're gonna keep releasing this content and stuff." Final Fantasy 15 feels like that, but it's definitely been all hit or miss. Like the end of 2016 and 2017 saw like 6 or 7 DLC patch like updates for like new story content, new extra modes, extra this. It's been pretty insane with its DLC, and yeah, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing because
is it paid?
Most of it is paid. Again, that's season pass stuff. If you pay for the season pass, you get it all, or you can buy it piecemeal and pay more. But yeah, like what Kyle said, like some of that stuff you knew were gonna make it, so maybe it should have just been in the game to begin with. Like some of the story stuff is directly tied to the main game, in which like people were like, "Why is this like this?" Oh well, it'll be answered in DLC. Like that's dumb.
Yeah, thanks.
It's terrible. Yeah. But at the same time, if we waited, like the game would have taken 15 years to come out. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what the right choice is for that.
Company's got to make that money. I guess if a game's going to take 5 years to make, or make it in 2 years and then finish the rest over 3 years. Those are long credits. They gotta feed those people.
Those are long credits.
When I suppose some of it too is like they want to keep the game, people coming back to it. You know, I know GTA Online still to this day has updates to their online thing. Luckily, complimentary. Keeps people coming back. I even mentioned in the past Call of Duty, it's like, yeah, get the map packs. You know, you want to say, oh, see what these maps are about. Maybe a new mode or so, and it keeps you coming back throughout the next year till the next game comes out. But you know, they want to keep you coming back to them.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2 comes to mind. I mean, you never have to pay for maps, but they'll make hats and weapons and amusing taunts. Those always cost money. Sometimes you might get them in from a random drop in the game, but that's pretty rare. But for the most part, that game is free. You can certainly play it for free.
It's not on our list, but what do you guys think of loot boxes?
You know, EA is on the list.
Okay. You want to just talk about it when we get there? All right.
Yeah. It's you're right though, it isn't. Here, let me just do this right here. EA Blizzard loot boxes. Yeah, that kind of is that a form of DLC? I suppose so. It's like mini DLC. It's not a huge ass map or something, but it's something. It's certainly something you'll use a lot.
Micro DLC.
Yeah,
I think P1 said it best. I think if it's strictly cosmetic, you know, just some fun little things you do for your characters or whatever, that's fine. But if it affects the game, then that's not really fair because then it becomes a pay to win.
Yeah,
I don't think no one likes those. So
yeah, well, wasn't that one of the main bits of kerfuffle with the EA? Because like people wanted like Darth Vader right away, and it's like, oh, you got to play it for 80 hours or buy it now.
Or $10 and he's yours right now.
Yeah. Now a lot of companies are doing that. Like we can certainly bring up Capcom and Street Fighter. I mean, you play the game online, you get fight money, but if you want a character sooner than later, you can certainly just put money into PSN and unlock a whole bunch of characters.
Yeah, that fight money is ridiculous.
Yeah. It doesn't. It depends what kind of fighting you're doing too. Because like I was playing online with a friend of mine not too long ago, and we weren't making fight money because we weren't in the right thing.
Oh.
But if you are in the right thing, then you do get the fight money. But this wasn't the right thing. But then I was playing Gundam Versus with your boy Jay, and we were playing it for hours, and we made a ton of fight money in the Gundam because we were just doing a regular ass versus, and that was awesome. So that's like a ton of money to buy random strikers and titles and all those random odds and ends, unlocks. So that was cool.
That's done right.
Yeah.
Although the DLC for that game is more robots, and those are like $7 each. Yeah. Bam, that's a lot of money. Jay City bought.
I just wonder if DLC has always been around, if it would be, you know, a hot topic. Like if it was even back on the NES, like you could for $10 get 4 more worlds and Super Mario Brothers. Yeah. I wonder how many people.
Well,
how
the original Mario 2 is basically Mario 1 DLC. It's pretty much the same engine. Yeah. They may have added a couple bits and pieces, but like Poison Mushroom,
more of what you love.
DLC. Yeah. Oh, that wind is the worst.
I wonder how well they would have been. It would have been received on retro games and consoles.
Capcom, once again, they made like at least 3 Street Fighter 2s for the Super Nintendo. Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition,
and Super Street Fighter 2.
Super Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, in a way, that was like it was pretty much DLC, but there was no way to add on, so they just made the game, included the DLC, and then sold the new game.
Yeah. Hopefully fixing any bugs they may have had along the way too.
Yeah.
That's one thing that comes in handy for digital. Patches,
actually
things.
Kind of going back to the cosmetic stuff, I agree. Like I think that's totally fine when it doesn't really alter the game to pay for it. But I do hate blind loot boxes. Like that stuff makes me mad. Take Overwatch, for example, because that's a pretty big game. 30 characters in that game, and I use 2 of them. And then if I spend $10 on loot boxes and don't get anything for the characters I use, that pisses me off. Like, I think that's a terrible way to do it. Like,
well, they're scratch and win tickets.
That's kind of getting into the gambling situation.
Yeah,
too. That's a whole other.
Which again, EA aren't they under investigation right now for that because of Hawaii?
Random? I think it wasn't like Hawaii and Denmark or something. Random countries and states are just like waving their fingers at them.
Well, wait a minute.
But the courts take so long. It is true, though. I mean, it is a form of gambling, really.
Yeah. Team Fortress has loot boxes. I never buy them. I did when they started, and they were awful. They were the worst things. Like you'd get like a weapon, like a completely common weapon that you could get from the game just at any time. I got like a flare gun, and I paid $250 Canadian. It's like, interesting concept, but maybe I won't continue.
I mean, if there is blind loot boxes, like there's so many different forms. Why can't they just do like, okay, here's a blind box for this character, considering we have like, 200 different items you can get for them. Like, here, pay $2 for this character's blind box, and you'll get 3 of their items. I feel like that's just a remedy they could do to make me happy, me specifically.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, Steven gets those blind boxes in real life. You never know what's in the package.
At least you can shake them.
Kind of do it in real life. Yeah.
Get a somewhat general idea of what might be in there. Can't do that in the game. Not yet, at least. I can see that be nothing. There you go. There's Joy-Con high def rumble. Here's
Labo.
Shake the loot box.
That feels pretty heavy.
Yeah. That'd be fun. There's a Nintendo idea for you. Can you buy using Overwatch? Can you buy all these taunts and costumes from a store, or does it have to be from a loot box?
I believe it's all loot box stuff because that's the thing. I don't think you can get.
Yeah, see, that's no.
You can earn loot boxes in game by playing and doing well, but you're still getting a loot box, a blind loot box.
That's no good. Team Fortress, there's a store. You can
a little dicey.
Like I buy a taunt that's for $10. I bought the engineer banjo taunt, and it brought me joy. And I was like, this was a good purchase. I could have bought a video game or 2 or 3 on Steam for $10, but nope. I need the engineer playing his banjo.
You wanted that taunt,
and that was good times. Still, it's good times. I love that taunt. But I didn't like. You could possibly get it from a Team Fortress loot box, but those are. It's like why? Why would you? Why would anyone want to bother the loot box?
Why ask why?
We're dumb.
Should know what you're getting at least.
People being dumb all the time. Let's talk about early access a bit. Is that kind of leans more towards the digital side of things, but in a way, early access kind of has like a DLC-ness, where the DLC is like the rest of the game to make it a complete game. It's all kind of this fun little mush of digital content that we live in nowadays. You can wait for that Game of the Year edition. That is always an option. And I did that with Street Fighter V. What do you guys think of this early access? Like, Player Unknown Battlegrounds released on Xbox One, and that's an early access disc. It's crazy. What's going on? We never had to deal with that on consoles before now.
Yeah, something new.
It's I feel like it's different than DLC, but in a way, it's just like the exact same kind of idea behind it. Of like you're in most cases you're paying for something that you don't necessarily know what you're gonna get sometimes. As I guess, especially talking about like season passes, it's like, hey, we are gonna make some extra chapters, but we don't know what they are yet. You know, early access is kind of the same thing in reverse. It's like you can pay for this game, you're gonna end up, you know.
Yeah. It's interesting. I kind of like I mentioned before, Layers of Fear in early access. I think I like the game more in early access than the complete version.
Mm.
It is kind of fun to see how the game evolves before it's quote unquote done.
I think that's really cool. I think some developers do it well when they're communicating with their audience and like taking feedback and listening and changing stuff around. And that's really on a developer by developer basis. But I kind of almost feel like I guess some games do it where like early access is $15, and then when the real game comes out, it's going to be $30. I think that's suitable to ask for like a fraction of the full game price. Like I shouldn't be paying a full price for an incomplete game. You know?
Yeah, it's like an early discount for giving them money so they can pay rent and eat food and make game happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
It is kind of fun to watch that evolve too.
Yeah.
Like you guys were saying.
Did they ever really finish Minecraft even? I can't even tell. There's still no real point to it. You have to exist.
Well, that's the thing too. It's not early access by any means, but I was an early adopter of the Pocket Edition way back in the day, and it was very basic when it first released, and it was for the longest time. And I went back and actually played it a little while back, and man, that game's grown. It's like
completely different experience.
PC. Yeah, I mean it's amazing. That's really one game I got to see grow. Just what they have now is those user created maps, and there's like gameplay modes in there. It's wild.
I think I downloaded one of those on the Pocket Edition. It was like a snow, kind of like Sled Storm. It's like you're on a sled, and then here's a mountain to slide down. The controls are awful.
Yeah, they have like dinosaur island and pirate ships. I mean, it's crazy. It's really got to see that grow. So yeah, it's kind of neat with early access. You can watch that game.
Is Minecraft still a thing these
You may
days?
even have a little.
I feel like it's kind of died down a bit. Apparently Roblox is really popular. I don't even know what that is. I'm too old to understand.
It's a thing if you make it a thing.
Between early access and DLC, what is a finished game anymore?
That's true. Yeah.
What is a complete game?
Yeah, who knows? Sometimes a game
of the year
will come out
edition,
and it will be complete, but it certainly won't be. Like Aliens Colonial Marines or Duke Nukem Forever or whatever game came out, and then it was awful, and then they fixed it, but by then the damage was done because everyone decided it was awful. And it just wasn't done yet.
I feel like that's really a shitty thing. That's kind of the backlash of all this. And I was talking to somebody on my stream yesterday about Recore.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was me.
Where
someone took over because I left. I had to take
where like originally that game launched to pretty poor reviews. You know, some people liked it, a lot of people didn't, and that initial reaction is like the stigma that game has. But you know, through patches and updates and definitive editions and stuff, like I'm playing it for the first time now, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And it's sad that game, most games don't get a second chance. Like you live and die when you first release, and that's pretty much it.
No one,
and even
there's so much coming out. Like if you don't have that, you have such a small window to really catch.
I think early access, you know, is the same deal. Like for developers, all you developers out there watching,
how many people are really chat right now? Hey, we got it's like Fano, Cyan Fano. He says, "Hey," I say, "Hey, back."
Hi.
Hey,
but yeah, you got to know when to release that game because you only get really one shot at it. And think of how many most games aren't Minecraft, so where like they're popular during early access and then they release and then they're just as popular. You know, it's like Dead Cells. I'm playing Dead Cells right now, and I kind of get the feeling like that game got a real big push when it kind of first came out on early access, and I almost feel like it's done now. Like nobody really talks about it, and when
It's
it
kind of
actually
the
releases,
thing to do now too.
nobody's gonna really care.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad because that's a cool game.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Yeah.
interesting.
Exactly what happened with that Battlefront 2. You know, I hear the story and campaign is actually pretty solid, but that whole
Nobody
damage
cares
was
about that. They care about that.
Yeah.
You EA screwed me over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of fancy
I go
streamers
into Best
streaming
Buy,
it.
I've seen like 1,000 copies of that game just sitting there.
Yeah, definitely screwed over themselves for the Christmas rush. I see fancy YouTuber and Twitch streamer types streaming it. I'm wondering, did they get paid by EA to play this game? Because I thought everyone decided it was bad, but suddenly all these famous people are playing it.
It's totally possible.
Play it.
That's totally a thing now.
I have questions. Never know. Yeah, that kind of goes more towards the loot box side of things, where it's just that's Evil D DLC. It's good DLC.
Yeah, you need to know what you're buying into, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think those blind boxes are they're awful. At least with like all those Dead or Alive, skimpy swimsuits. You know what you're getting, and it doesn't affect the game. It's just purely cosmetic.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. I think even
Yeah.
Senran Kagura does a lot of that. The whole sex sells side of things, I suppose. It's like, well, here's your favorite girl, and now we get a skimpy new swimsuit. Woo! $5, please.
That game, you already
Or
see
the-
enough of those girls in that game. You don't need the DLC.
Yeah, you never see that. Never
You
see
see so much.
It's a time-proven design, the female form. We need to see in every possible color combination and clothing option. Patches. That's good. It's kind of DLC. It's kind of a necessary DLC. It keeps the game running in one piece. It would be great if games were done before they release, but I guess I can see. Early access is definitely the hip thing to do, I feel, these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, the patches sometimes, too, I think,
store.
makes it okay for these developers to be a little lazy, like, oh, we need to get this game done, or, we can just slack off and we'll patch it later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like kind of opens the door to some laziness and not putting 100% effort into your game. Like, oh, yeah, we should fix this part, but we'll get to it later.
Yeah, it's tricky.
I feel like if all of us try to make a game right now.
Catch videos on YouTube.
Hmm.
Typo. Gotta go
Yeah.
and catch that. That'd be nice. There's a feature for YouTube.
In the end, though, like I'm happy that we have a way to patch games. Like,
yes,
certainly.
In the end, it's the lesser of two evils to have it. We can either have a game that comes out and is always broken right from the start, or even if we gotta wait 2 weeks, like, for it to fix itself. Like, I think that's an overall better thing.
Mm-hmm. Games are so much bigger now, as opposed to back in the day. There's just so many more little nooks and crannies where something can go wrong, as opposed to your basic 2D side scroller.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to catch some glitches or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. It's tricky though.
I mean, it's good they exist. Patches exist, but kind of leaves a little door open to some laziness. And non-caring too.
Yeah, in the end, like, you gotta. With great power comes with great responsibility. Hopefully, release their game like to the best possible quality they can do. But sadly, that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah, fighting games are definitely one of those on the list because those are definitely a big thing for DLC nowadays. As mentioned, Street Fighter 5, and pretty much every fighting game. Injustice, Killer Instinct, King of Fighters, like everyone, every one of them just has these windows of characters that are just like, we're working on another character coming out soon. So you buy the thing and then you find out you got to pay more for the thing, and then.
And the latest case has been Blaze Blue. cross tag battle forever, whatever game.
Anime Fighter number 2,547,000.
Their included roster is 20 characters, and they've already announced that 20 more characters will be DLC.
Mm.
Oh my.
To where I said I want people to be more upfront about it, but Jesus Christ, that's a lot of DLC characters.
Mm-hmm. I think even Dragon Ball that I mentioned before, they've got plenty of DLC characters on the way. They're still announcing stuff though. I don't think they've announced DLC just yet. Maybe, probably. I don't know. It's tricky. Like we said, it all comes down to just the nature of digital gaming. Like they're
Well,
never
they want you to come
really
back and-
all that done. Left 4 Dead 2, every now and then there's some random update. And like, what did you do? They did nothing. They added like German support for the help screen or something. Something you can add, I guess.
Yeah, well, it goes back to they want to keep you coming back. Like, who would be playing Street Fighter V right now if there were more characters?
Yeah.
Because I played Street Fighter V without having any characters unlocked, and it really sucks. It really grinds my gears to see the character select screen, and then you got like 12 characters,
8 characters,
6
or
on each
12.
side with the big lock on them. It's like, well, they're there, they exist. I have the disc, I paid for the game, or in this case, I borrowed the game. But now it's like, well, give us money, give us more money, or give us more time, which is generally time and money are the same thing.
Isn't that arcade edition a free upgrade though, or?
They added features like the actual arcade mode itself.
Okay.
The disc I purchased is, as far as I can tell, still just the basic Street Fighter V disc. Like they put a new wallpaper over the disc itself, like it says arcade edition now. But I've got it right here. Like you open the case up, listen. Yeah.
Ooh.
Opened it, and then like
Sexy.
the disc has that new picture of Akuma. It says arcade edition and all that. But over here, here's my code for season 1 and 2 character pass.
Mhm.
So it's like they're obviously not on this disc, so which leads me to assume it's just the exact same disc that they released a year or two ago.
Do you think that was just like their shitty workaround to be like, when we originally said that, we'd never release a game with more than the original, we meant it.
There's only going to be one Street Fighter V.
Yeah, well, there it is. Nothing's changed. I was talking to one of the managers at our local EB Games, and he said it's unfortunate because when they do that sort of thing, they have to, on their little stickers, have it listed as basic Street Fighter V because if you want to resell the game or trade it in or whatever, it won't be worth anything different because it isn't. Like, technically, this arcade edition doesn't exist as far as the physical version goes. It's still just basic Street Fighter, just with a different image on it. And that's kind of a bummer because I kind of wanted it all on the disc. It's a mentality thing, but you want, like, if you're going physical, you want everything on the disc, right? You don't want it to just be in the thing as this unlock to suddenly have it download the game digitally. Like, everyone loves
Takes
those
up more space.
Those Switch chips, whatever you want to call them, and I don't know how that works. So I don't have the console, but does that just download everything, or is it actually running off the little chip? I don't know.
Chip? I don't know.
I don't know, sir. I don't know if it has to install anything. They always have to install something. It seems something goes on the screen.
Yeah, that's what eats up a lot of the hard drive.
Because I don't know how much those chips could handle if it was doing everything, just sucking them out. Like, is it like USB 3.0 for the chips? I kind of doubt it. Nintendo always likes the old tech, whatever they had the most of in the warehouse. Just look at the 3DS. So yeah, we mentioned a bit of EA and Blizzard and loot boxes. Seems like first-person shooters get that a lot. I don't know why it's always those. There are certain skins on guns in Team Fortress that I've seen. Some look really cool, but I don't even know how they get them. I don't even look at loot boxes. I have my inventory, and then at the back, way at the back, there's a bunch of loot box thingies. I don't want to pay $250 just to buy a key to get a random thing. If I want one of everything that's in the box, and I don't have any of them, then maybe if I'm that bored, but normally, money money can go elsewhere, like new robots for the real world.
Robots.
Mm-hmm.
Rubits.
They want to keep you coming back to the game.
But yeah, DLC, interesting topic. There's so many layers to it. Like you said with the Rockstar, like open world games, like Rockstar did it a lot better than Nintendo did it, because you get the new cutscenes, the new voice actors, the new missions. But then Zelda, it's just like, here's shrines, and now here's 10 more shrines. You can just imagine they're throwing a dartboard at the Zelda maps, like,
You put a
no
shrine there.
where that landed. Yep.
That's where we're putting it.
Yeah. And then you get those random costumes where it's not, it doesn't harm anyone. It's just a fun thing, but at the same time, it's just like, these don't really belong in the game, and sometimes DLC just takes things away from the purity of what the game originally was. Kind of makes it kind of goofy.
There's definitely a mentality of like, there's too much can be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but sometimes
and that was literally sort of how I felt playing the Zelda DLC. Was like, Breath of the Wild standalone was the greatest game ever, and then the DLC came out, and I was like, do I still think this is like one of the greatest games I've ever played?
Kind of cheapened the thing,
and that was really like a bad feeling, honestly.
Yeah, I know. It's like adding a hat to the Mona Lisa.
Because it's like, Steve, you and me were pretty much on the same page of like, this could be the greatest game ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like defending its honor in a lot of battles.
Sure.
And then the DLC came out, and to have to sit back and be like, maybe this game does have some problems.
I know. I mean, adding a dirt bike is fun, but it doesn't belong there. It's like, why? It's so. I mean, poor horses. Poor horses. I bet they added the flying mechanic after the horses.
Oh yeah.
They probably were just like, it just takes too damn long. So let's add teleportals to shrines. Let's add a fancy flying thing just because we can, just because it's fun. It feels like a debug mode kind of thing, being able to fly around.
We'll add the bird from Ocarina, or not the Ocarina, A Link to the Past, and you could control the bird now.
Yeah,
that'll be cool. Yeah.
yeah, DLC. Interesting topic. Amiibo. I put that in the list at the last second here. That's an interesting form of physical DLC, where it kind of unlocks things. Sometimes they do nothing but just be little fun collectibles.
It's one of my favorite DLCs because, yes, it's just a fun collectible to have. I have like 20 Amiibo, and I've probably only used 4 of them. Yeah, I probably have more than 20.
At least the Zelda ones got some use, because I actually unlocked some unique stuff.
Yeah, it's good that you can use them in multiple games too. So Zelda ones aren't strictly to Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes DLC is, sometimes less is more.
What's your favorite Amiibo? Go.
I got a Monster Stories one that's pretty cool. I haven't opened it. I think it works in the game, even though we didn't have those Amiibo released domestically.
Mine's either Mega Man or Cloud, because I
Cloud.
He's my favorite.
I kind of like the random Mario enemies, like Koopa Troop and Goomba got Amiibo.
Actually, Duck Hunt Dog is really good too.
That's a good one. There's so many now.
I only have a couple of them, I suppose. That blocky 30th anniversary Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I kept it in the original package because I thought it'd be super rare, but
any of the Bowser ones are pretty good.
Look at this guy.
He's so
and
big.
This other guy. He's so cool.
What is it? I'm not looking.
It's Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah. I get the Mario Rosalita and Daisy over there. They're not open. I got the Gold Mario. He's not open. I got Rob Famicom Colors. He's not open.
Sorry, I turned this into a toy cast. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. Try and separate them, but that's how it is. Yeah.
Combo cast.
Combo cast. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, anyways, I think we're more or less wrapped up on our little main topic discussion. Anyone have any other thoughts on DLC? It's good for the most part. it would be great if they weren't super expensive. And I like
Try
when they're
harder.
Free content is
Try
good.
harder. Yeah. Use Rockstar as an example.
Mhm.
Yeah, use Rockstar as an example. Nintendo as a second example, I guess.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I was thinking is Splatoon 2. Like that certainly, maybe that should have been just DLC. I have not played Splatoon 2, but it sure seems like Splatoon 1.
0.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new story, but the multiplayer online is kind of the same.
Yeah.
Just different maps and different items and weapons.
They just didn't want to call it Splatoon Deluxe, I guess.
Yeah. I like how you can use a normal controller for it, though. I wasn't a big fan of the gamepad
Yeah,
with the first
controls.
Splatoon. Yeah, I mean, it worked, but
Remember
it's
the
nice to have
gyro
a normal
control
controller.
shrines? Yeah.
Oh.
So, here I am having fun with my Pro Controller, and then here's a contraption to shift and shake. And I'm like, oh god. All right.
First of all, you got to plug in the gamepad.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for that to charge for a moment.
Mine's always charging if I'm using the Wii U. I almost always have the little cord over there. It's plugged. Alrighty.
It's their way of switching it up, though, too.
Well, we'll see what the future has for DLC. I know Monster Hunter World, they've already announced that Devil Joe, he's like the big green T-Rex looking evil fucker dragon. he's a DLC. He's free. But once again, you just get the feeling like the game's not out yet. But there's stuff that they're still working on. Could it have been on the disc? Maybe, but maybe the game would have taken an extra month to release. So I guess it's good for the most part. Everything's mostly digital anyways, let's be real.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I'm ready to
make
move
the
on.
best game you can.
So that's about it for DLC talk. If we come up with anything further, there was one more thing I can't remember what it is. So let's move on. We'll just have a couple bits of interesting news, and we'll look forward, and that'll be it. Sound good? Anyone need to take a recess?
Do it.
Okay. So just quick interesting news. YouTube hates small channels now. Anyone have any thoughts on recent changes?
YouTube.
I mean, are these people making any money in the first place? I think that's the whole point. Like,
No.
you have a channel with 50 subs, and you're trying to put monetization on these videos that you're getting maybe like 10 views for. I mean, I can see them not wanting to deal with that.
I don't know. I follow one specific speedrunner that did bring up this problem where he was getting stuff from taken down from YouTube or getting problems with it. And like he posted an email response. And it was like the shittiest email response from a company to like, a customer, I guess you could say. And it basically was like, hey, when we started letting people make money on YouTube, it was basically as like a favor to people. So you shouldn't be expecting this money. So, figure stuff out. We'll figure stuff out, and we'll get back to you when we can. And I was like, man, that's a terrible response. And yeah, he totally was making money off of his stuff. So I don't know. Again, I don't know the whole problem, but I just saw the response, and I was like, man, what is YouTube up to right now?
Yeah, it's just mean. It's hard enough getting seen on the YouTubes nowadays. It's just like I agree. Like maybe I always said it'd be fun if they just took all monetization off of YouTube, regardless of how many subs and views. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't these like million plus YouTube channels like on actual TV? Like, what's going on with real TV? Why don't they want to hire these people?
It's almost. I mean,
it's
there's
a proven concept, and I'm sure all YouTubers would appreciate like a quote unquote real paycheck.
Yeah. It's almost like there's so many more avenues to get money in this world now. Like, I could almost see YouTube being like, yeah, we're not going to give any money. If you want to do that, like make a Patreon or something. Get your money from an outside source, and then you can use us as just an avenue for it.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate to see, but because I have been on YouTube actually almost 5 years, and I've never made enough to actually get an actual check from them, so it doesn't affect me a whole lot. And yeah, people are really going going wild about it. But it's like, well, YouTube lets you upload your videos for free, and then they want to be paid on top of it. So, yeah, if I was actually making money, I'd be a little more upset. But
I was gonna say,
you do
I
it
don't
for
know.
fun.
I don't know if
Yeah.
us three are the best people to really judge this situation. When
Yeah.
I've made YouTube money before. Shit's fucking hype. You just look at your kid like, oh, we can't Google. A nice
I buy all those.
not very
toys
common,
there.
but every now and
Right.
then.
That's pretty cool.
I'm telling you, boys, just go viral. It's awesome.
So have they attacked your page, Steve? That's what all we need to know.
I didn't get any random thing like that. I still have the bar that talks about like things that are now like unacceptable for advertisers, but I don't do enough videos in the first place for that to really be an issue.
Maybe
I didn't get to the email.
Are you saying you're too big for them to touch you?
Basically. Pretty hype. Pretty fucking hype. Look at my
I don't think
Transformers RID to Inferno review. 3.3k views. That's pretty good.
Ooh.
I should do more of those.
Could make
I
a
was going to do one yesterday, but then I didn't.
quarter or two off that.
It was that nega hype, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We got to push that because that's going to be the show title. But yeah, you know, it's
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 unfortunate, but
Patreon's an option. But most of these channels really, I understand, huh? Like, who are you people kidding? It's like, you weren't going to make money anyways. Your little nickel for a month's work. It's like, fuck, I don't care. I don't blame YouTube. Can you imagine how much the costs for YouTube must be? I mean, they make so much money, but at the same time, like, that's the entire planet they got to have space for. A lot of people, a lot of bandwidth.
Everyone's videos and storing them. Probably get like tens of thousands of videos a day.
All right.
Yeah.
Keeping them in storage, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a great service. It is free, so it's hard to complain. Much like the CAPMAX HYPECAST. Don't like the audio? Yeah. Fuck you, it's free. Anyways, I'm ready to move on. The hype is dying in me. I can't reach my energy drink. It's in the fridge. It's one of the Street Fighter Red Bulls. It's a can this time.
Oh.
So we mentioned at the start, but hey, Mega Man 11. That's cool. That's interesting. I look forward to that.
It looks Mega Man 11.
It looks a lot like Mighty Number 9, but you
know, but then you look at it and it's like, oh, I don't know. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Does he change physically if he's using an item now? Isn't that a Mighty Number 9 thing?
Oh well, he changes color still. Like
I thought he gets like a different arm, and
I don't think so.
Gives me a Mighty Number 9 vibe. Which is another game that I believe was patched.
Over time. Have you guys played Mighty Number 9?
A little bit. Played on the Wii U a bit.
Yeah,
I have the disc twice on Wii U.
What is with you in having multiple of the games, same game?
Well, this is at least on different consoles.
Okay.
And the Alan Wake is regular edition and special edition. Because remember they were saying that it was going to be taken off digital because of music licenses and all that. So I was thinking, better start buying up them Alan Wake discs. That resale going. Although I don't do that as much because I am still a collector, and it kills me inside to sell Wild Guns for the Super Nintendo for $600 if anyone wants to buy it. Because people are crazy like that. But yeah, once again,
Mega Man 11 lunks. Don't screw it up. But I don't really want to see like the same format. I don't want to see like Mega Man and then 8 levels. I think you need to add a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
And hopefully not in DLC format. Like here's 4 more stages for $9.99.
9 and 10 to DLC, and that's weird. I didn't understand.
How would they do that though?
Hopefully they switch it up. You gotta switch it up a little bit. But
what about if they did like they did on some of the Game Boy games, where it's like they break it up into sections? You can pick the first one.
Yeah.
And there's like a mid stage that's automatic, and then you break it up again.
How about Mega Man and the base?
Mega Man and Boss.
Yeah. Boss. Mega Man and Fish.
I have to play that. I have that game.
It's
I
weird.
only played the first level.
I just played as base because he's different and he shoots diagonally.
Ooh.
Hashtag game changer.
Yeah, he was a DLC in Mega Man 10.
Yeah, there was like
I know Proto Man was. Yeah.
yeah. That's one reason why I actually
That's
would like to get Legacy 2, just so I could have 9 and 10 on the PS4. And I'm going to mention pretty quick and looking forward, but I got my PS4 Hori Fighting Commander controller, and it's got a proper traditional D-pad, which I thought would be great for Mega Man games.
Let's see it.
Side scrolls. It's right here. Steven is holding up his controller to his
kinda
webcam.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. So it's basic D-pad, like NES, SNES style
Yeah.
D-pad, and
Sega Saturn type.
6 face buttons. Pretty good controller. I used it and beat
That's
King of Fighters. But we'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, otherwise, how are we feeling? Pretty good for, we got our DLC talk. We did some interesting news. We're ready to wrap her up with some looking forwards.
Yeah.
Let's
Get on
do
with
it.
our weekends. All right, well, it is then time to look forward. Austin, what are you looking forward to? And if you could please pimp out your medias again.
Well, I'm looking forward to, while you guys are excited for the Monster Hunters and the Dragon Ball Fighters, I look forward to Celeste coming out on the 25th. And that's a 2D side scroller. That's right. But it's made by the guy who did Towerfall, that little like Smash Brothers like fighting game.
Okay.
Me and Average Joe Gaming have played lots of Towerfall. You've followed us, you've seen Towerfall. But Celeste looks really cool. It's like 600 levels of platforming goodness. You're a little girl climbing up a mountain. You got like air dashes that you can use. Looks really cool. You can wall climb and looks really fun. I'm probably gonna play that on stream, most likely.
I'm still waiting for Ghost Song. When is Ghost Song coming out?
What is Ghost Song?
Stupid
That sounds
Axiom
really
Verge happened. It's like Metroid but spookier.
Oh, I do remember a trailer for that, like a long time ago.
That
I have
could
the
be good.
beta on. I have the beta on Steam.
And then I mean, further down the road, since who knows when I'll be on another Hypecast, but Yakuza 6 comes out in March, and my buddy Will, we've talked about already, he bought it for me as like the wedding present, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to play Yakuza 6. That is an amazing series. Everybody should give it a shot if you haven't. Really goofy, fun kind of beat 'em up, open world, RPG-ish, hack and punch Japanese thing.
It should be right up
Amalgamation.
my alley, but I've never really gotten into any of them.
It's like,
And I like shit. I don't know.
I feel like it's an evolution of Shenmue, like to where Shenmue is very serious. Like Yakuza is. What if Shenmue was really ridiculous? And
Shenmue is more stiff than anything, I'd say.
yeah, I'd
Dreamcast.
say that.
Let's play Shenmue 1 and 2 HD. Damn it, Sega.
Yeah, I
Supposed
feel
to
like
get
they
people
need to
hyped
do
for Shenmue 3. Oh, well.
I will definitely be playing more Final Fantasy 14. They just released a trailer for a new patch, which is funny that
Kefka.
is a game that releases trailers for patches. But
Square loves trailers.
Steve said they show
Do 'em
Kefka
well.
at the end of that trailer. And for those of you who don't know, that is the main villain of Final Fantasy VI from the Super Nintendo.
He's basically the
Best
joke.
one.
And that is just like so crazy that they're doing that. Like I don't know to what extent he's going to be in the game, but that's a really cool thing where, again, that game, like I said at the top of the show, like it is a game that recognizes its legacy and definitely plays it up.
Fan
The
service.
entire game.
Like what Breath of the Wild did.
And also little hype coming forward. I talked to Jay Barry, aka Prophecy Prophet, aka Black Emperor, aka Dollar TV, down, up, left, A, right, down. And we are going to try to get another cross-site chatter show going, which was something we did like a year ago, probably at this
That was a
point.
long time ago. Tell him to play more Gundam with me.
And I'll tell him to play more Gundam with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping to maybe do that sometime next week. So if you follow me on Twitter at ASOPBeef, AESOPB3EF, or my Twitch channel, ASOPBeef, AESOPB3EF, you can get more news on that when that show comes up. Jay Barry's a really cool guy, and he's kind of been away from social medias and stuff for a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely something to check out if you guys want. I'd appreciate it.
Cool. Well, thanks for being here today. Thanks for chatting with us. Kyle, anything you're looking forward to?
Yeah, let's see. A couple categories, I guess. Game-wise, I talked a lot about Rockstar, so I'll have to throw out Red Dead. I think hopefully we'll see that this summer, if not before. But
maybe someday.
Someday, well, Rockstar's notorious for pushing back too. So
they don't do early access. They make sure shit's done.
Yeah. Well, so that Spider-Man PS4 game looks pretty darn fun.
Oh yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah. Switch-wise, a couple of the ports, it gets a bad rep about a lot of ports, but I never played Hyrule Warriors, so it's maybe a good chance to do that with all that extra DLC. Sticking with the show theme.
Get your money's worth out of that game.
Yeah. That one looked like it had a lot of DLC, which was kind of intimidating to go get the Wii U version, but now I can play it. See how that goes. Archive category, maybe Cartridge Club wise, I'm kind of looking forward to being a more active member, interacting more. YouTube wise, I'm looking forward to maybe just doing some more videos. I know we're all doing I'm participating in the Alphabet Backlog Challenge this year, so I think it'll be fun to kind of do a little mini reviews of kind of my thought on each game as I pass them on YouTube.
Right on.
So, yeah, we got Order and Alan Wake. You guys will probably be seeing pretty soon. So, Game Time with Kyle on YouTube, all one word. Looking forward to the movie cast that Steven will be doing for us soon. That should be fun. Film cast, or
if I could actually get people to commit to a certain time and place. That's the real trick.
No, it is.
It's going to get Rambox and talk Commando, and I haven't heard back from him. Going to do the Labyrinth Hypecast. Keep trying to. Let me know. Let me know if Brian wants to do that. By the way, Austin.
Movie cast.
Yeah, because we're going to talk. I was going to talk with him like literally years ago about. We're going to do a Hypecast where the main topic is going to be Labyrinth because their anniversary was around that time. But then like 2 guests didn't show up, and I was like, well, I guess maybe we should probably just reschedule, and then it never happened. Brian was the only one who was actually there though, and I felt bad. Because if people want to stand me up, that's fine, but if they stand up other guests, then it all screws everyone up.
Right.
And then I get mad. So shout out to Brian from the Average Joe Gaming Boys, who was the one who was there. We could have done the episode. Oh, well. No chance.
That could be the big premiere.
Yeah, one of these
or a movie cast.
Like we said, get that nega hype going. It's so easy to not do things. At least we got this going. It only took us 3 months, but hey, new Hypecast, get hype.
I mean, that's the thing. It didn't really take us 3 months. You just mentioned it like 2 weeks ago, right?
I mentioned all the time on Twitter. No one replies. You monsters. I'm just trying to provide free content for the kids. Anyways,
I'm usually pretty open. I think you even messaged me earlier this week. I'm like, I have a rare Saturday open. Let's do it.
All worked out.
Although I'm terrible
that's
at movies.
how it is with every episode. It's just things work out. Either they work out or they don't. Yeah, it's a struggle of podcastery, I guess. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for being here, Kyle. And like I said, Game Time with Kyle on YouTube. And Austin.
2-Timers Club.
There you go.
I'll catch up to Austin pretty soon.
Yes. Check out Austin's Twitch channel.
Yeah.
his focuses nowadays. And then there's me, Steven. Thanks for listening, everybody. What am I looking forward to? I want to play more fighting games with my new controller that I just mentioned, the Hori Fighting Commander. I picked up King of Fighters on PS4 and Street Fighter V that we mentioned. So those are all caught up to date DLC wise. I've got other characters, but there's more coming. So yeah, which is a good thing, I guess, because it keeps hype going for the games. But it sucks that you gotta pay them more money. But I guess it's new work. But I don't know, whatever. It's fine. Monster Hunter World we mentioned is coming out this Friday coming up, so that'll be a good time. I hope I save up enough money to actually be able to afford it. Shadow of the Colossus remake that's coming up real soon. That should be time as well.
That's like,
yeah, I never played those games, so I'm looking forward to trying it for the first time.
So that'll be, yeah, definitely pick that up. And yeah, CAPMAX Gaming here is the YouTube channel if you're watching us live. Who's in the chat? Oh, we got Video Games and Other Vices. Welcome aboard. Did they say Merry Saturday, gentlemen? And a Merry Saturday to you. And then we had, don't know how to pronounce it, but CIANFANO, Cianfano Studios, who also dropped in. Thanks for stepping into the live chat today, folks. It's a CAPMAX Gaming YouTube channel with over 500,000 total views. What?
No big deal or anything. Just, yeah.
Pretty hype.
500,000.
500,000, more than 500,000. And check me out on Twitter at Steven Eider. That's Steven with a V, EIDHER. It's all one word. Check me out streaming video games live on Twitch. That's CAPMAX_gaming. I'm more or less done with Breath of the Wild at this point. I might still play it on stream to look for Koroks, but that's Koroks. There's a few more bits and pieces I need to finish up in Dragon Quest Builders, but then that one's more or less done. Next, I want to finish off a couple games I started, which are Far Cry Primal and Nier Automata. Far Cry I think it'd be a really good game for streaming. Nier, maybe not as much. But Far Cry is a fun
kind of spoilery.
Yeah.
Catch it later,
I streamed it one time and I was like, I don't know if I really need to be streaming this. Maybe it's better off as a solo experience, but Far Cry would be a fun game to, I think, watch people stream. Watch me stream it. It'll be a good time. Yeah, there you go. That's about it for episode 26 of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. HYPECAST DLC Pack 1. That's what I called this show planner. So, everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks to Austin and Kyle for being here today. And hope everyone has a good day at work or wherever you're listening to this. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Ta-ta.
Bye, everyone who said
Bye.
they'd be on the episode but then wasn't because of schedules, you assholes. One of these days.
Yeah, did it great without you.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get those movie casts going. Maybe. Bye, everybody.
Cheers.
Adios.
Okay. All right, that's the episode. Cool. Gentlemen, good chatting with you. It's still live. We'll be live for a couple more minutes.
Oh, no.
We do
Can you
need
guys
that
hear
Steve
that water
room
in the
tour.
background? You can't hear that, can you? It's not coming
No.
in? Okay. I can hear pipes. There's always pipes. I was using my kitchen for recording my most recent videos, and they're right by pipes. So, I don't know. I was going to do the couch record again. I don't know. There's no room. Never enough room. Pipes. My
That's why we're
neighbor
all
has a
curious to
thing.
see a room tour.
My neighbor has like, I don't know what it is. It's like a blender or something, but it's right against the wall. So whenever they use it, I hear the coming out of the wall. It's no fun.
That's great.
No fun at all. Room tour. What a mess. You demand unthinkable things. They got robots on the floor. Look at this. Look at this. Just reach over here. And there's a Megatron for you. Look at that cat. Rawr. That's a toy. Look at this weird gap though. Oops. Yeah, that's the transformation gap, as you can see.
Don't break him.
Like, look. Like, what's going on? There's my eyeball in the
There's a
gap.
hole in his body.
It's weird. Cool toy, though. He turns into the Batmobile, basically. Yeah. That's from
Also, the
Transformers.
colors. Yeah, I guess never really been a big Transformers fan, but always interesting to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate, at least with the collecting. I mentioned even before the show all the Iron Mans and other Marvel figures I had in the past.
Yes. Well, you're always welcome to show up, show on the hype or the Toy Cast if you want.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the only subject I can talk about.
That's fine. Yeah, it's tricky mixing fan bases.
Yeah.
But let it be known, some of my earliest CAPMAX videos were on toys, piggy banks and such. I don't know how that tabs in. Whatever. I'll figure that out later. So, anyone have
What
any
do you
fun
do when you host parties?
Good. What parties? There's no parties here. No room. No room.
Maybe
Everyone's
wants
on
to
the
have people
balcony.
over.
There's nothing on the balcony. You can put people out there.
Well, Steve, I have a house, so anytime you're in America, in Indiana, feel free to stop by. You can have a party here.
Sweet. You and your fancy America dollars. Buying up houses.
If you're ever in South Dakota, same thing. I'll visit that Mount Rushmore sometime.
Cool.
See a bunch of faces on a mountain.